Niners! Singing ooh la la, yeah, yeah, ooh la. Hey, here's fam. How you feeling? See, because if you're like me, don't don't let it make you crazy. Okay, we have went through this drama every year for the last 7, 6, 5, 6, at least 6. We should be used to this by now, right? It's no big deal. Don't let it affect your health. We're winning ball games. We're right in the thick of things. We're this close. The Super Bowl win is coming. You can feel it coming. It's right there. We just got to go get it and stop having these incidents and accidents and injuries. It's a lot to ask for, isn't it? I mean, I'm trying to make myself feel good. I'm trying to help you feel good better, too. It's ridiculous. Okay, anyway. The annual Niners quarterback drama for 2023 has come to a climactic conclusion for now. Sam Darnold, according to the Niners coaching staff, will be the backup to Brock Purdy. For now. You see, in our situation, that's all you can say for now. How will that decision affect the future of Trey Lance? Talking point. Tonight to the phones for your reaction to Sam Darnold being designated Niners QB2. Talking point. Also in the final preseason contest, who all will join Ronnie Bell as clearly a candidate to be instated on the San Francisco Final 53. Talking point. So they can start singing, ooh la la, yeah, yeah. You got a lot to unpack here. Let me get into it and stop clowning around. Now, according to Coach Kyle Shanahan, the decision to make Sam Darnold the number 2 quarterback over Trey Lance, he says it didn't come easily. Both players had been battling for the QB2 job behind Brock Purdy all offseason. Both of them optimistic, both of them feeling confident, both of them feeling that they got it made. Right around the Niners' first preseason game, a loss against the Raiders, Darnold started to pull away in the race, according to Kyle Shanahan. 10 days later, while preparing for their preseason finale against the Chargers, the Niners made their decision. And by the way, I'll tell you more about that a little later, because the fact of the matter is that was not supposed to get out. Yeah, that's why, you know how the 49ers, they like to keep things quiet until they have to put up with the misery and the strain. That's why they exited the building kind of quickly yesterday. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, who could not be found for comment afterward. Anyway, Shanahan said yesterday, Wednesday on KNBR's Tolbert and Copes show, quote, just really starting back from OTAs all the way to now, it was a hell of a battle. They were neck and neck for a long time, but just really over these last 10 days and stuff, we felt Sam started to separate himself. We felt he did it in practice consistently, and he's been getting better each day. Trey made it real tight. He made it tough. It wasn't an easy decision for us, but we felt with the work that they both put in, our decision was made before this game. So I felt that I owed it at least to Trey to tell him first and foremost, so I brought him in this morning. That was, of course, Wednesday, yesterday, and let him know, and now we're here, unquote. Fam, the horror of what this boils down to, and if you don't ruminate on it too much, because it just ruins the whole joy of fandom to see some of the things that go on, the proceedings. In fact, a person would probably do better just to watch the games and don't watch the intertwinings and going-ons between the seasons and practice and everything else. Just wait till game one comes and enjoy that and try to not put yourself through all the drama. But you know what? Part of being a fan is put yourself through the drama, isn't it? Given everything the Niners gave up for Lance, trading up in the first round and sending 2 more first-round picks in the 3rd round of the Dolphins to move to get T. Lance. It is painful. And at this hour, there's no other way to look at that trade effort as anything other than a complete fail, given what we're seeing now. Lance was to be the team's franchise quarterback, in keeping with the 49ers' plan of keeping a good to average quarterback in place. Kyle Shanahan can just do his thing when the quarterback does not have to be excellent. He does not need to take charge. In fact, Kyle does not want him to be out there taking charge. He wants him to follow directions and be able to take cues and execute in the fashion that I've taught you as far as Kyle Shanahan goes. So now he's been beaten out by the last overall pick in last year's draft, Brock Purdy, and NFL journeyman Sam Darnold. And I got to tell you something else. Word also leaked out that the third-string quarterback probably has a notch over Trey as well. But the undeniable truth is what that other stuff is, man. Shanahan went on to say, quote, "There's 3 years of it, so it's a whole story to it." Duh. But I also don't think, Trey, this means that he can't be with us or someone else ever in the future. Kyle, you see, this is the thing. We know that statement, Kyle, that you and John made about we want to do best for what's best for Trey. What does that mean, fam? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean to you? We want to do what's best for Trey. Not necessarily the team, but for Trey. That means he's going to be jettisoned if they can. Anyway, I mean, this is just where camp went right now. We know what Brock did in his 7 games that he got to play. And that's why I was clear with all the quarterbacks here. And I think anyone who had asked me, Brock had earned that spot. We weren't sure if Brock was going to come back or not. And we had the opportunity to add another in free agency with Sam. It doesn't take a high-ranking detective in the best police force on the planet to know you went and got Sam because there were some doubts in the back of your mind about Trey. You could have went and got that kid from Cincinnati to back Trey up, but you didn't. You went and got Sam Darnold and had him compete with Trey. 49ers, we're not stupid. We know what you're doing. Stop lying and tell us the truth. We'd probably have more respect. It goes on to say, and those guys have been competing for the 2 spot, and Sam just beat him out on that. That's planned. That's not part of what he said, but I'm just thinking. It was a tough matchup for him, but he ended up pulling it off, unquote. Shanahan shared that the 49ers committed to building around a quarterback on a rookie contract after the 2020 season because of the salary cap benefits of doing so. I understood that at the time. I really did. I still do. But don't BS us between then and now. We know what you're doing. Just go ahead and just break it down. Don't hide anything. And admit keeping the majority of the team's talent together. And I actually don't have a problem with that. Lance was a guy they had hoped to do it with. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. San Francisco did end up building around a quarterback on a rookie contract. And lo and behold, ideally, he's worth, some of us could pay his salary. He doesn't even make $1 million a year. However, it ends up being Purdy. Good. 49ers made out like bandits, didn't they? Niners hope. This is the kind of thing where the new girl comes in to the campus, when you're back being a jerk back in high school, even in college to some degree. You've loved this girl for a few months, and this new girl comes into the campus. And so listen, you tell the oldie, listen, you know what? I'm going to be a little busy for the next 2 or 3 days, but I will get back to you, so don't worry about it. I'm not ghosting you if you don't hear from me. It just means I'm tied up. I got some things I got to take care of. Oh, okay. The Niners hope to ease the inexperienced Lance in early during his rookie season. D. Lance broke his finger during the preseason and suffered a knee injury during his first start. What are the odds of that happening? This is what I feel bad about for the most for Trey. He comes in, the time that he got hurt was so important toward his development. It was extremely important. And it's just one of those nasty, bad luck things. He needed that time to work on his game. He's laid up. Lance was named the starter the next offseason, but suffered a season-ending ankle injury in his second game as a full-time starter. What in the world? That pretty much sealed his doom. A little did we know at that time, but that was it. Shanahan did say, though, about that, quote, that was unfortunate, so he missed 2 years to develop. Not to mention the COVID year of his last year in college. So now he had gone 3 years without it, and that opened up an opportunity for Brock, who spent all 4 years polishing his craft at school. He says, this is what I'm saying. It's as soon as they got Brock and found out with what he's getting paid that he can run the offense, it was lights out. And then he went and got Sam Darnold to back up Brock, and this is, I think, was all part of a master plan. I don't know that the conspiracy theories are running wild through Twitter. I don't know. It's pretty much plain and clear. There's no hiding anything. Trey got zilts in the first 2 years, a very important time to train and learn that offense. And then Brock Purdy comes along by some mere chance, and he can run the offense like Kyle wants it done. Kyle believes in him. So, fam, we now know that the information that we have involving this latest news is that the 49ers did not want it to get out. Sam Darnold and Trey have the same agent, or at least from the same agency. Speculation is fact that Trey probably went and told his agent, and that probably spread out through the room of agents. So, speculation is that Trey may have communicated the news to his agent, and it got out. And trading Trey as, you wouldn't have expected, now seems a possibility, but damn, who in the world is going to trade for Trey Lance? Okay, if I'm a really good coach and I believe in what I can do, what I can look at Trey and I can sum up some of the things that he can do to improve his game. I'm going to give you assets, or I'm going to trade something to you, a 6th or 7th round pick, maybe at the most. I'm going to redshirt Trey for a year till I can get him up to speed. Hopefully I can. I get him back out to the following year. He's going to compete with whoever the quarterback is in my camp. And I'm going to see if I can use him or not. I'm going to give you a conditional deal, though. That trade's not going to go through until I can figure that out. So that's a 2-year away deal. If I'm a GM, that's the best I can probably do for the 49ers. Meanwhile, who's going to pay that dead cap? The thing is, they're going to trade money no matter what. If they get rid of him, they can't cut him. They end up paying more money. So you got to figure out now, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place with Trey. So that's why the 49ers are going to play along like we're going to keep him, because we feel like we can use him. But honestly, they made their move, and their bed has been made up. Tuesday's cut down is coming up, fam. Moving on to Nick Bosa. See, these are things that I came in trying to make myself feel better, right? I'm getting a headache thinking about it. Nick Bosa has not signed, fam. And the cut is coming up Tuesday. How's that going to affect the cap? I guess they know what they're doing with this. Why would I assume that? Do they know what they're doing? Okay. You figure they're gonna manipulate the contract in a way where it's going to be at most $10 to $18 million, probably, as far as the cap hit goes, right? They're turning this into a mess. You know what I'm worried about? Chris Jones is over in Kansas City. He's having a similar situation. It seems Jones has made it clear he's not going to play until midway through the season unless they accommodate his demands. Man, we need Nick Bosa. John Lynch looked a little uncomfortable earlier today, from what I understand, in talking about Nick Bosa. He's usually got that big poop-eating grin on his face when things are rolling along, and hey, everybody, don't worry about it. Things are rolling around as we anticipated. But I can't. His favorite line. What I can tell you is that we're pretty confident in knowing that we're going to have this deal done before opening day. John didn't even go through that route. We're in trouble. You have to look, and I'm one who's always positive. I fully, the sun always shines. But I'm concerned about this one. If Nick doesn't sign before the cut, which is coming up Tuesday, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. God. Okay. Well, hey, how about the game tomorrow? Who's in the Ronnie Bell club of most likely to make the team tomorrow night? Hey, Tay Martin, we hear his name all the time, right? A consistent training camp with a number of splash plays. And in his 2 preseason games, has 5 catches for 38 yards. With injuries to Danny Gray and Ray McLeod, if Tay looks that good, I'm Ray and Danny both could go on the IR. I'll put them on a shelf for now. That could open the door a little bit for Martin. A little wider, Willie Snead, whom I don't like, as you know. Snead is the kind of veteran who would likely get back to the Niners practice squad if he wanted to go that route. He spent part of last season there, and earned enough trust from the coaching staff to get into games on offense when he was called up to the active roster. I mean, he wasn't really bad. I mean, for Willie Snead likes to miss wide open shots, seemingly in practice. He has just 3 catches in the preseason so far, but his knowledge of the offense and reliability could make him a 53-man addition this year instead of to the practice squad. We'll see. Fam, here's where it gets real crazy because we, offensive line, everybody, and nobody's actually glossing over this. We don't have any depth on the offensive line. If any one of the 5 starters go down, we could be in serious trouble. And as you know, our quarterbacks get hurt every year, and people ask why is that? It has a lot to do with the protection. You know, you got Reddick coming around that corner on an island. Anyway, Leroy Watson, the 4th. Watson is still in the early stages of his development after transitioning from tight end to offensive line. Last year as an undrafted rookie. His progress has been interesting to say the least, though, and it might just be enough to get him a reserve spot on the offensive line. Beggars can't be choosers. Watson would likely be inactive on game days, but they've got a new rule now where you can have certain. You have 3 players. I can't remember. I know you can keep some offensive linemen in reserve so that you don't on game day. So if something goes happen, you can go get them. But if you can get quality practice reps, talking about Watson, of course, during the year, it might allow him to be a viable option down the stretch if 49ers need to dig into their OT depth. And then you got Ilm Manning, should I say, is in a similar boat as to Watson, except he comes with plenty of experience at OT, so that's a better thing. The Niners will likely aim to get Manning back on their practice squad to see if he can develop long-term as an interior offensive lineman. Given his experience at tackle and some of the growth he's shown in camp through the coaching staff, they may elect to keep him as a swing tackle option this year before working on moving him inside next season. If the team determines Manning is one of their 7 or 8 best offensive linemen, and that ain't saying a whole lot, it's hard to imagine they have to let him go, you know? Because Jalen Moore has pretty much destroyed all faith in him as an offensive lineman, and another failed choice. That's why when people say, I said, man, you know, the 49ers, the first pick in the draft next year, better be an offensive lineman. If anything else, there should be a riot outside of 49er fans. Really, seriously. We don't need another defensive lineman. We don't need a wide receiver or running back. You need a damned offensive lineman or 2. Get somebody with quality. Trade up in the first round twice. I wouldn't even get mad. Give me some offensive linemen you can depend on. Please. Marcelino McCrary Ball. These guys with these names, man. Especially linebackers. Rookies Jalen Graham and D. Winters have gotten most of the noise and shine this offseason so far. Then there are veterans like Oren Burks and Demetrius Flanagan-Foles. Demetrius Flanagan-Foles and Marcelino McCrary-Gall. You know, they should actually form a boy band. Foles, who has plenty of NFL game experience on his side, as does Oren Burke. But the question is, can McCrary Ball, who has with the Niners practice squad all of last season, make it? He's a good special teams guy, and you and I both know we winced a little bit in preseason watching the special teams. It may come down to special teams or at the back end of the linebacking depth chart, but McCrary Ball may find his way in over one of the 2 rookies or one of the 2 more experienced veterans. Would you take McCrary before you take Foles? See, I don't think I would. Foles was actually the best special teams guy. I think he was the best one we had. Next to Odom, I guess. Yeah. And then safety Taylor Hawkins put together a nice preseason as a UDFA in 2022 and spent last year on the Niners practice squad. This year he's playing well again. Earned some praise from DC Steve Wilkes. It would be surprising if he made it over one of 4 safeties ahead of him on the depth chart. But, you know, if the Niners really believe in him, they can trim the roster elsewhere. Where? I don't know. This is why the offensive line, The trenches are where the 49ers spent most of their money. But this is why tight ends are always where they seem to make you give George Kittle a couple of guys to help him out, and that's all you're going to get. So I'm figuring that's probably what they're going to do if they're thinking about Hawkins or anybody else for special teams and better depth in the back end of that secondary. That's fam. That's pretty much go any direction you want. There's all kind of things you can gripe about or say or give praise to, because I like this team. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to be great because you look around the league and some teams we have a wealth of talent in various spots. We just expect more from certain areas on this team, and it may not even be necessary. The quarterback situation is not like that. We don't parrot any other team in the NFL. What Kyle Shanahan does is what he feels confident in doing, and I actually don't want him out of his comfort zone, even though he pisses me off sometimes. But the guy is definitely a little more brilliant than the next coach in the game. I mean, I'm saying that because obviously, when you get to the NFC Championship game 3 times out of 4 years, you're doing something right. But there's something, 1 or 2 things wrong. I don't know what they are, but I do know that injuries play too big of a part. So I don't know if I'm going to blame Kyle Shanahan for not paying the big bucks and going and get the premier blue chip quarterback, because that doesn't seem to be necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because when we lose, it's not necessarily because of the quarterback. It was because of various. Kwaski Tart could have caught that ball right to his chest. Jimmy Ward did not have to go down and beat up on Odell Beckham Jr. because it pissed him off early in the year. That didn't have to, Also, Jimmy and his injuries. Now, the Rams think they beat us, but the Rams need to be happy that we played 2 games before we got to them and went through pure hell by having to go through both Dallas and Green Bay in that refrigerator that they call a stadium, and then come back to home and catch up with the Rams, who narrowly beat us by a lot of luck. You see what I'm saying here? I don't know if the team is as bad as the bad luck. So, when is the bad luck going to stop? Who knows? Who knows? Rodney, I've had enough of Shanahan. He never gave Trey a chance with the first, the ones. Darnold, the dude, has 90 turnovers in his 55 career starts. How is he better? That's the point you can argue about. You know what? I'm done with the argument. You guys can argue with that as much as you want. I'll just moderate it, okay? Because I've already said I think Trey needed more time to develop. He was out too much. And this is as far as I'm going to go, because after that, I wonder how good he would have been had he not got hurt. This is what I'm thinking, because you're going to have trouble beating out other guys if you didn't play in college for 1 year. You didn't play any professional ball, really. You got 4 or 5 games in 2 years. It's tough when you got to go that route. So, I don't know. Phone here. Nick Bosa's a problem. I can't even talk about let's be happy. Come on, let's be happy. Now, Nick Bosa, this deal, oh, man. T-Flow and Allie.
What's up, Ronbo? Allie's in the shower right now.
All right. Well, T-Flow, you go ahead and speak on her behalf. You know what's going on. T-Flow, go ahead and get in.
What's going on?
Yeah.
This is an embarrassment to the San Francisco organization. We're going to be labeled as not knowing how to scout or develop a quarterback, and we're going to be the only team in the NFL history to drop a top 5 or a top 3 quarterback and not play him and use a top 3 for a developmental project. Basically, that tells you Shanahan does not even know how to manage right then and there, because you don't trade up the farm for for like a developmental project. You don't do that. When you trade up for a top 5, they're starters. Look at, like, for instance, you were saying about, Brock Purdy doing good. I'm going to name you someone better than Brock Purdy. This guy won the Super Bowl for the Eagles. All right? And what happened next year? All right, you're not the starter. We're going back to the we're going to go back to the original starter. What was his name? The quarterback from the Eagles.
Foles?
Wentz. No, Foles. But who was the starter? Who was the starter that Foles replaced because he got injured? What was his name? Was it Wentz? No, was it Carson Wentz?
No, Carson Wentz. Foles.
for the
Remember,
Eagles.
Carson Wentz got hurt, and Nick Foles came in and won the Super Bowl. That's why when you said that, I thought you
Won
were
the
talking about
Super
Nick Foles.
Yep. Yeah. And next year, was Nick Foles the starter? No, he wasn't. They gave it back to Carson Wentz because that's where they made their investment in the first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
And the Niners, on the other hand, they're like, nah, we're going to give up because Kyle Shanahan does not know how to
No,
use it.
wait. One thing though, Carson Wentz had already put in an entire season. He'd been out there. Foles only came in because he got hurt, but he had already put in an entire season. Trey never put in that many games, so that's you can't really.
Yeah, but he was already
situations are not
labeled the starter though.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
well
no,
that's
but-
true.
Yeah, he was already named the starter. They gave up the house for him. So if you give up a top 5 pick, he has to be the starter. Usually it's day one. They're the starter. But for some reason, the 49ers, they want to go against history and be like, nah, we're going to use you as a developmental project.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they're gonna do.
Wait. Here's the thing, T-Flow. If I tell you that this guy's raw and I'm keeping this quarterback that I've got and develop him, this is not an unusual process. You look at Jordan Love over in Green Bay. It's not unusual to bring in a project and work on it for a while on a Super Bowl ready team.
This is a top 5 pick.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't matter.
Jalen
Jalen was in the top 10. I forget which order. But yeah.
Top 5. No, this is top 5, Ronbo. This is top 5. I never said top 10. This is top 5.
Okay, go ahead.
And not only that, everybody there who's a top 5, 1, 2, or 3, they're starters day one from A1. They're starters. Kyle Shanahan does not
were
really
were there similar teams? Were they also their roster look like the 49ers roster?
Well, if that's the case, you don't drop the quarterback then. You get Penei Sewell. We could have got Michael Parsons. How good our defense would have been with Michael Parsons and you got a Joey Bosa on the other side.
I know Mika and Nick on the Mike and
right. See, that's the case right there. He messed up for going for a quarterback. If you go for a quarterback, you got to start him because there's a reason why you went for a quarterback because you already said this quarterback's not good enough. I'm sorry. If he's not good enough, you put someone else.
At least buy them dinner.
All right? That's what you got to do. All right? And the other hand, Kyle Shanahan traded DeForest Buckner, didn't even look at Patrick Mahomes, Watson, all right? Didn't even pass on Tom Brady, right? They needed another quarterback. We could have got DTR, right, from UCLA, who's balling out in the preseason. Look how good we could have got DTR right now.
I did like
with
him.
the Niners. All right,
Yeah,
and not only that, and Ronbo, please tell me what offensive genius does not invest in offensive line and just all defensive line?
And by the way, T-Flow, you make a good point there because the 49ers are trying to piece this thing together. They're building one unit and then one unit. Every year they're building one unit. Now we got the best defensive we got great defensive backs, and it took 2-3 years to develop that. We got a defensive line they've been building from day one. All right. And now offensive line, which is, like you say, extremely important, it is still a big question mark. I agree.
It's been there ever since he got into the league. Ever since he's been with the Niners, never invested in an offensive line. That's it. Never. And not only that, Rumble, what other offensive genius tailors the quarterback to his offense instead of tailoring his offense to the quarterback? Why do they always have to run his system? Look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid got smart and says, you know what? I'm going to do better, and I'm going to go against his skill set. I'm going to make plays for him instead of, you call as I tell you what to do.
Yeah, T-Flow, there's not a lot of quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, though. I don't know if we can still use him as an example or someone you can actually compare with. Patrick Mahomes he's on an island. He's way different than any other quarterback in the NFL. If you grab Patrick Mahomes, that's what I'm saying. But if you're going to get that kind of a quarterback, you're gonna actually adhere to his talents. Because if you look over with the Chargers, that guy's supposedly good, but why can't he win ball games? Coaches have to do what they know how to do. If I start tailoring my program for you, that means I probably don't know what I'm doing.
But they do tailor for the Chargers quarterback. They don't make them run all these plays. Look at when with Aaron Rodgers when they had a little fewer there. They got into it because Rodgers thought, dude, I know how to play this game.
That was
right? I know what's
fun.
going on. Like, nah, that's not how you play the game. All right? I'm
As
playing
a coach,
the game.
you're either with the program or you're out of the program.
Okay.
Nobody dictates the program but
That's
the
true.
head coach.
Fam, hold on. We're going to come back to it. We let T-Flo have his time. Now, what we're going to do, T-Flo, I didn't even notice. We're out of time. No, T-Flo.
That's true. Nobody dictates, but every great offensive coordinator tailors to a great quarterback, to their what they're good at, instead of always have to be his scheme.
T-Flo, I fully agree. T-Flo, we really got to go because there's too many people on the phone tonight.
Just one more quick one.
T-Flo,
all right, Shanahan
production's going to shut us down. All right, so you got to hold on to it. We'll be back tomorrow, okay? All right. Evan. All right, T-Flo. Evan.
Hey, Ronbo.
Evan, this is what the 49er fans, we got to go through this. Evan, let it all out. I'm going to sit back because we're going to run out of time because I know you got a lot to say. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, okay. First of all, the fact that he ran Jake Moody out the last preseason game versus watching Trey try to throw a touchdown. That should have said everything. That should have let us know everything right there.
Actually, you're right. That was a telltale sign.
Yeah, he was seeing what the kicker could do versus the quarterback. And secondly,
that's a good point. That is, if I'm a judge and you come in, you're a cop to bring that evidence, case is closed. That is exactly true. Yeah.
And the whole third round pick thing, they were looking to trade for Rodgers. I mean, I think they must have been on the phone with the Packers and said, like, hey, if we move up to 3, will you trade us? And they must have said, we'll entertain that. So the Niners pulled the trigger on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Packers or whoever they wanted to trade with, Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, whoever you want to name, backed out.
They'll get big show started.
And they were stuck with making that pick.
Yeah.
Because, like everyone's saying, he was so raw coming out of college. You can't take him at, they couldn't take him at 3. Like, why move up to 3 to take him?
And now you have to get a quarterback, right? Because their plan is to get rid of the expensive quarterback and let the rookie take over. We'll train him for a year. Our expensive guy, his contract expires next year, and our plan will be in motion. Evan, you know what you point out, though? They didn't have a safety valve, something to fall back on. They got lucky with Brock Purdy. Or else, you know what? We'd be up to Poop Creek.
Right. Yeah. And, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we haven't been notoriously good at first-round picks lately anyways, besides Bosa. I mean, we missed on Kinlaw and
we can go on and on with that for a few minutes. You got Brandon Ayuk. That's the best first-round pick we've had since Bosa.
Yeah, I mean, and we got, a guy that, I know it's a short, we haven't seen much of him, but it seems like we got our guy in the 7th pick. So, I mean, I feel like that should cancel out, the first-round picks. I mean, if he's the guy, if he's the guy we've been waiting for, then at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what we gave up to get Trey because we didn't spend anything on Brock. So if you look at it that way, it kind of cancels itself out. If he's the guy, I'm not banking, I'm not telling you that he's the next,
No, he's got more to prove, but you're right. You still got a quarterback that can run the program.
Yeah, if he's the guy in the long run, then everything works itself out. But
in the long run, in the long run,
Ben, please don't. Hold on, we'll get you in. Go ahead, Evan.
I usually defend Kyle and Shanahan and John Lynch, but they sure did mismanage the hell out of that situation.
No doubt.
You
And
know.
now that's why they were
But
hiding yesterday after news got out. They didn't intend for that news to get out, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
that
now
was
you
pretty,
can't find them.
cowardly too. They
Yeah.
should have at least,
No.
faced the music for their decision. But anyways, I was kind of thinking about it the other night, and what do you think about if they cut Cam Latu and put Coletto in at a tight end position?
I've not seen enough of Coletto, but I've seen enough of Latu. You know what? I would do that. I like that idea.
I think that might be the move.
See, because the thing is, we've got a brief sample. Man. I tell Coletto, listen, why don't you hold on? I'm going to put you on the practice squad, and let me look a little longer. Just make Because you never know. Latu may come out of it, snap out of it suddenly. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to showcase both of them tomorrow and see who has a better game and base their decision on that. But I mean, the whole thing's been kind of crazy. I mean, our team has more drama than
any
other
soap
team
opera
in the NFL.
Any soap opera.
Yeah.
We cannot. The 49ers will come up with these, and this is all real time, real life stuff. And you're sitting there and you can't believe. And there's some things we don't know. The 49ers keep things under wraps pretty well. We've pretty much, like you guessed a couple of things, taking Trey off the field and letting the kicker come in. When Trey, you should see what he has more to offer to getting that ball in the end zone. No? Trey, take a knee. All right, Jake. Oh, I didn't think about that the way you just pointed out at the time. I thought he just wanted to get Jake some work.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to give quarterback 2 to yesterday either.
Right, yeah. And the fact that, Brandon Allen's still hanging around too is pretty
did
telling.
You hear? Some believe, and I don't know if this got out of camp, the 49ers may actually like him better. They really think he's solid. So that's why they're saying, we're going to keep all options open with Trey. We'll just, what does that mean? You guys are going to trade him, right? Because what are the options you got? You're not going to put him at quarterback 4. What are you going to do? You can't cut him because you're going to lose. You got to pay more money.
Yeah, they got a super raw, talented kid on a team that's win now. They just don't mesh. He needs time. He needs rep. Like the other caller was saying, he should have been inserted year 1 or whatever. But all these other guys aren't waiting around for you to develop a quarterback. These guys are getting older. They're wanting to win now.
Yep, that's the whole thing right there. You're not going to have a bunch of vets out there going along with that program of start that rookie now, unless Garoppolo's not there. You're not going to go with a quarterback that doesn't know what he's doing yet. And probably some people say the same about Jimmy. But the thing is, Jimmy was instrumental, or they did get to where they were trying to go. They just had fails at the end. But
Well, also the fact, we missed all the signs. The signs were there, like when they were talking about signing him before he got injured last year.
Yeah.
Or re-signing him,
That day, in fact, the day before he got hurt in Miami, they'd already been rumored. It got around the 49ers were considering re-signing Jimmy Garoppolo. And then he got hurt that same next day. Yeah.
The signs were there. We just weren't seeing them.
Because, Evan, we don't know what's going on in practice. So whatever soured the 49ers with Trey happened in practice. What we see on television probably isn't what they're looking at or what they're digesting.
Yeah,
and coming
and
up with
it's a known fact that Shanahan's really stubborn, and once you get in his doghouse, it's almost impossible to get out of it.
We've seen that. Anyway, Evan, we're going to go. I'll see you tomorrow, though, after the game, during and after the game, okay?
All right, I'll check in. Shout out to everyone, and shout out to Ellis and Tony and all the faithful.
All right, fam. Appreciate you. And let's go ahead and sing. It's the head of the Dragon Clan. He's Papa Dragon. Come on in, Pop.
Oh, Ronbo, I'm so disappointed on planet Earth right now, Ronbo.
Take a
I'm
Take
so
a
disappointed,
Xanax.
Ronbo is, I would be disappointed if a former president of the United States got indicted once, Ronbo, I would be pretty disappointed. But it's happened 4 times. I'm disappointed, Ronbo. I would be disappointed,
What kind of
Ronbo.
analogy is this?
If we saw a quarterback sitting there for us to draft and we drafted Solomon Thomas, Ronbo, I would be disappointed.
And you should
But
be.
Ronbo, we have passed on so many quarterbacks that it's ridiculous, Ronbo. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. You know, the reality is that the 49ers have created the most toxic fan-on-fan disrespect base on the planet right now. And it all started when they traded all those picks and moved up several months before the draft, Ronbo, talking about, oh, we can take 1 of 3 guys. Well, instantly that created 3 camps. So all of us are arguing who they're going to take and why they should take them.
It's bloody.
So Kyle Shanahan sits down and says, oh, I want a Lamar Jackson, Drew Brees skill set. That's what I want. So I'm like, okay, that eliminates Mac Jones. So it's going to be Fields or Lance. Wait a second. Lance played in a pro-level offense with a fullback, a.k.a. 49er football. It's going to be Lance. Did we see him run that offense? No. We saw something completely different. We saw this kid run the ball his first NFL game 16 times. 16. How many blocks did McClinchy miss that game? He missed like 6 blocks.
Which is
One
par.
on the first play of the
Yeah.
game.
That's kind of normal
Right?
for him.
This-
Yeah.
We flat out whiffed. Okay? Who calls these plays? Head coach calls these plays. Right? So he gets hurt in that game. I'm not surprised he got hurt. So if you move forward to where we are today, Ronbo, what is my concern right now? My concern goes to Brock Purdy. I'm concerned for Brock Purdy. Is Kyle Shanahan going to protect Brock Purdy? Is Kyle Shanahan going to go to bat for Brock Purdy?
Another
Is
good
Kyle
question.
Shanahan going to take the blame off of his quarterback, Ronbo?
Nope.
If Purdy has a bad game.
No, then it's his fault, yeah.
Is Kyle going to risk his QB's health for the benefit of his scheme? These are all things he's done for 7 years, Ronbo. I don't know about you. I've seen enough. How can somebody be a bust if you don't play him? We all saw these preseason games, okay? When I saw the preseason games, you know what I said to myself? Sam Darnold's going to be number 2. This is why. Sam Darnold's been in the league longer than Trey Lance. He knows exactly what Kyle's looking for, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle and his dad put him to the side and say, hey, look, man, I don't need you to try to outplay Trey in camp. Just get rid of the ball. When your foot hits the ground, get rid of it.
Well,
get the ball out.
It's a capsulized. It's in a nutshell type of thing. But you know what? I've been thinking that a long time too. I just decided not to say that, but I think you're right. I think you're right.
No, I absolutely saw it. I saw one quarterback that was just, I didn't understand it when I was looking at it first. I'm like, is Sam even trying to win this competition? And then when I'm watching the games, I'm like, well, this is what Kyle Shanahan's offense looks like. 1, 2, 3, ball comes out. 1, 2, 3, ball comes out. 1, 2, 3, ball comes out. Right? Trey, 1, 2, 3. Where am I going to throw it? I'm scanning. I'm looking for somebody to be open. Nobody's open because all my players are scrubs. No one's blocking for me. That's what I saw at Trey. I'm like, okay, well, Trey's a little bit of trouble here. But here's the problem, Ronbo. When Trey drove them down for that game-winning touchdown, 2 starting 49er receivers, Devo and Ayuk, ran down the field to congratulate him. The entire audience and the crowd was fired up for Trey. Fired up. Uh-oh. We got ourselves another problem. You know what that problem is?
Popularity.
That the minute you put Trey Lance behind Brock Purdy and Brock Purdy falters, and guess what, folks? He will falter. Because what he did last year is unprecedented. That is not normal. We still don't know what that – we don't even know what that looks like without McCaffrey. We don't know. But we do know that Kyle Shanahan will run McCaffrey right up the middle 20 times in a row and not care, because he doesn't care about people's health. He cares about scheme. That's what he cares about, is his scheme. The man's not a head coach. He's not a teacher. Trey has made more progress with somebody else than he did. Oh, well, I want you to go see quarterback coaches that use my scheme to understand my scheme. Dude, he needed more work than that. So what would I do if I was Trey Lance? What is he going to do?
Good question.
Is he going to go to a new town, all of a sudden pick up an offense in 3 weeks, get some playing time, have to find a new place to live? Is that what he's going to do? That doesn't make sense. They bungled this entire situation, Ronbo, from the selection, from when they took the picks, from when they traded the picks, to how they decided to use the picks, to decided what were we going to do with the pick. They bungled the entire situation. And no, it's not the same. It's not. Jimmy Garoppolo never went to a Pro Bowl. Now, Pro Bowl has been diminished, yes, but the Pro Bowl is a recognition that you are one of the top 3 players at your position in your conference.
Right.
Jimmy Garoppolo has never sniffed a Pro Bowl. Alex Smith he had been to 3 or 4 by the time he got to Mahomes. So now you're not learning from Jimmy Garoppolo, you're learning from Alex Smith, the Pro Bowl. 2 different players, 2 different situations, right? But I will say this, and I will quote Stephen King, who was on King and BR today. He said, I think it would be beneficial for Trey Lance to go to a place that's good at developing quarterbacks.
And that's the only person that actually would make a deal with the 49ers. You got to know what you're doing with training quarterbacks and shaping them into what you want them to be. That's not – I don't know who that is, though. But, fam, we got to stop.
Who was that on the 49ers? I know we got to stop, man. I'm just
no,
really
I want to get it on
right
listen,
now. And
listen, just call us part 1, and we'll continue tomorrow night and possibly the next day.
So we'll definitely continue this, Ronbo. But obviously, I give all my shout-outs, but I want to say one thing, and I'm going to leave, and I'm out. Okay? We're already diminished this year as far as depth goes. Next.
All right, Pop Productions. It seems we got a lot of phone calls tonight, Pop. Pop, I want to hear it, though, tomorrow night. All right. Well, it's a big show.
Good Lord, people are acting like they know Trey very well, and that's their little brother. Like, Jesus, people, come on. The kid doesn't, number one, exist. Number one. Number 2, he's a millionaire. You shouldn't feel sorry for him. He's fine. He's a grown-ass man. Number 3, Kyle Shanahan and the organization did not treat him poorly. They didn't do him dirty. It was just purely bad luck, and he just didn't work out here. I tried to tell you this from the very beginning, but you all got on my ass and ripped my head off, and I laid back and just let it slowly, progressively fall apart, like I said it was going to, and you just didn't want to believe it. And lo and behold, look where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very frightening thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was just purely bad luck. That's all it was.
Yeah, because I want to know what Trey would look like if he did not gotten hurt, and I don't know if we can fault Shanahan for that as much as
JJ, stop calling me.
Because I if he'd been out there, but again, most people think that the play calling was the direct result of his injury.
No, the play calling had absolutely nothing to do with it. Kyle Shanahan said himself, even in KMBR, they were tailoring his offense around Trey Lance to where he can succeed like he did in college.
And he did run a lot.
Then exactly. And like, you guys, it just didn't flat out work out. And Ronbo, I disagree with you. I think the first pick in the draft next year is going to be a quarterback, given that Sam Darnold's a free agent, and there's no telling how Brock Purdy's going to play this year.
And I can't argue. You know why? Because the fact that we know what the 49ers are trying to do. They're trying to keep that quarterback inexpensive and build around him. And that's going against the grain of every rule in football, is you're going to go as far as your quarterback takes you. Well, 49ers said, we ain't into that. Our team's going to go as far as we can spend around him. I don't know.
Yeah,
so is that experiment that are you gonna actually support? I don't know what to think about that, but
if they draft the right quarterback, absolutely, I will support it. Absolutely. I mean, Trey just didn't flat out work out here. Like, he was extremely raw coming out of college. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
And the injuries, unfortunately, set his development back year after year after year after year. And Kyle Shanahan has a very short leash with that.
Yeah.
And
well, he does.
when you're injured all the time, like, yeah, that's Jimmy Garoppolo. You know,
get hurt, get out. Yeah.
Yeah, see ya. Good luck to Trey, though, wherever he goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it just didn't work out here. And no, I didn't hate him. There's no hate in me at all whatsoever. Stop using that word. And stop using the race word. Stop throwing the race card out there. That's not an issue either. Like, he just flat out didn't work out here and have luck on his side here. That's what it is. You know,
now,
like, I'm so sick of people coming up with bullshit, like other bullshit excuses, and it's just purely bad luck. That's all it is. You know?
Yeah,
that's all it is.
There's no argument to offer for that either. If he wouldn't have got hurt, you do wonder how he would have been. But as it is, there's nothing you can do about a guy that's laid up and he can't get out there. So yeah, that's hard to fight that argument. Really.
And people should have seen there was no real competition for number 2. Let's be honest with this, ourselves. They were trying to trade him all off season. There was no real competition for quarterback number 2
got
position.
Out too.
Yeah, and
February.
You should have seen that. You should have seen that writing on the wall when Sam Darnold signed the first day, when they incentivized his contract, and they incentivized it to where if he gets playing time during the regular season, he can reach up to $9 million in his contract. I mean, that should have been the writing on the wall right there. That Sam Darnold was already quarterback number 2.
What was the monies involved? His contract could earn him up to $10 million. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's not a Mickey Mouse contract. They already had things all figured out back then, or else you would have done like everybody else. You get a $2 million contract. And
what up, JJ? They've been trying to get him since 2018, Ronbo. They really, really like the kid.
I remember that.
You know? So, it is what it is. I mean, good luck to Trey wherever he goes. You unfortunately didn't work out here. I'm sorry that happened. That injuries happened to you. It is what it is. That's just purely bad luck. That's all it is, people. Don't make up anything else that's in your head and spill it out there on Twitter crying about, oh, he was treated unfairly. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he's like my little brother. Oh, my God.
Well,
it's going to affect my life so much.
You know, you have to be sympathetic, though, or at least empathetic toward the whole situation because, you know, what are the odds? You come in and
Robo, I don't feel sorry for millionaires. I don't feel sorry for millionaires.
Well, you knocked me down off my horse on that one because I mean, right? I mean, Trey's already got. Well, how much was it? 28? No, total.
Yeah, $24 million by doing nothing.
Yeah, that's. God, if I could make that kind of money,
that's a robbery right there.
And have fun, and I'm rehabbing most of the time, and. You know, but Trey wanted to play ball. I could tell the look in his eye. He wanted to get out there and compete. But as it was, he was at a disadvantage, though. You can't get hurt twice like that and not have that much college experience to come and expect to beat any NFL player that's been out there for any length of time. Trey, I got to tell you, though, Show, if finally he does find a place in the NFL and he does develop, I do want to know where is that potential going? I really do.
It's going to be Minnesota. It's going to be Minnesota behind Kirk. Because they don't have anybody after 24. They're going to do him right and ship him off to Minnesota, where he's from. He's from Marshall, Minnesota. And Minneapolis is like only, an hour away or something like that. Yeah. An hour or two away where his family is. So that's the best situation for him. Or Tampa Bay.
He'd probably like
or
that.
Tennessee, where he made those finger cross emojis on his Instagram
story. We don't know how Mike McDaniels felt about him either. He might,
or
Tua
Miami,
gets hurt one more time. It could be Miami.
But I'm confident he's going to Minnesota.
We're going to go. Show, I'm going to tell you what. We're going to be making that bet later on. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, shout out to everyone. Take care. Don't take it personal, everyone. It's football and business. Trey doesn't know you exist. I understand you're passionate, but don't come crying on here crying foul and bullshit like that. It's football. Take care.
All right, Show. Have a good night. Hey, here's what we need. Hey, chill. Phil. Glad you got here today, Phil. I was hoping you'd get in here
Holy
today.
mackerel. I took a 2-week vacation. Now I know why.
All hell broke loose.
God, help me. First of all, Trey's not dead yet. And he's not even off the team yet.
Good point.
And he could move to number 2 or be number 3, but it really doesn't matter because we have our first-string quarterback in Brock Purdy. And Brock's the real deal. I don't care what Big Show says. We're not drafted a quarterback.
Because I will be upset if we do that next year. I really will.
Honestly, Ronbo, I think we're going to draft 5 offensive linemen.
And I have no problem with that. If they're in the first 3
2
rounds,
edge
please.
rushers.
Ah.
And didn't Big Show say we didn't need an edge rusher? I sure would love to have an edge rusher right now.
Yeah. Nick, please
So-
sign the contract.
Come on, people. And, you know, the other thing with Trey, they say, oh, we ran him and he got hurt. The reason he ran him is because he broke his finger and couldn't throw. And the finger didn't heal right, so he wasn't accurate in his throws. So Kyle ran him more. That's what happened. Trey got injured.
Yeah.
It's a fact. So, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, everybody goes, oh, we gave up 3 first-round picks. We gave up a 12th pick.
Yeah.
We gave up the 28th pick.
Yeah.
And we gave up the 28th pick.
Mm-hmm. But we got to get past those draft
We
picks.
really didn't give up 3 top 5 picks.
Yeah, and
something
teams
like
do that
that.
every year, Phil. Every year
And
teams
you look
give up
at-
a multitude of
let's
picks.
take the Jets
first
let's
round
take the Jets,
quarterbacks.
for example. They used the 3rd pick in the draft on Sam Darnold. 3 years later, they're taking the 2nd pick in the draft on Wilson, Zach Wilson. And a year later, or 2 years later,
Ooh.
they get Aaron Rodgers, who's kind of washed up.
Ooh, what a mess. That is
So,
the
I
real
mean, the
mess.
trade value that the Jets have spent is
Ooh.
far, far greater than what we spent.
Great example, Phil. I forgot about that's bad. The Jets really screwed up. And the Browns aren't but a step behind them.
And, you know, because we made it to the NFC Championship game, we're the 28th pick. It's not like it's number 5 or 6 or 12. It's the 28th.
Well, so we should be grateful to
So-
some degree.
Get over it. We didn't pay all that much as far as trade value goes. So, anyway.
Yeah, those are some great examples, by the way. The Jets. Now, those are the fans, and in New York City, where you know the coach could walk down the street and be mugged and then slapped. You know, we pale in comparison to the mess that's taking place in New York, and the Browns are but a step behind or running neck and neck. So we're not that bad.
Deshaun Watson doesn't pay off. They're
Trubisky,
in real big trouble.
Over in Tampa Bay, Baker. I mean, come on. Didn't they have a couple before that as well?
Well, they did have Brady. That paid off for him.
No,
Tampa
I'm
Bay, but,
talking about Cleveland.
Who?
The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, no.
Hey, as a matter of fact,
they
you know what's funny? Baker Mayfield from the
was
Cleveland
drafted-
Browns. No, that's too many
Baker
guys.
Mayfield was drafted number 2. Then they give up all those draft picks for Deshaun Watson, got rid of Baker, and now if Deshaun Watson doesn't work out, holy mackerel, they paid far greater. Plus the contract.
It gives us pause so we can stop worrying about our own miseries and think about that. What about that? God.
I mean, look at Denver. They gave up so many draft picks to Seattle, and they gave up the 5th pick in the draft.
Listen to Phil, fam. You should feel better. Just listen to Phil about some of the examples around the league that have been far worse. Yes.
And I'm telling you right now, Brock Purdy's the guy. Look at his numbers last year. And if he plays anything like he did last year, they're going to start comparing him to the top quarterbacks in the league. And then the other thing is, we see Jalen Hurts as this great quarterback. He's had 1 year out of 3 that were good. Last year, that's it. The first 2 years, he wasn't that good. So, is he a one-hit wonder? Everybody's saying Brock Purdy's a one-hit wonder. I mean, why can't you say that about Hurts? And the other thing, Geno Smith. For God's sakes, he had 1 year out of 10. So anyway, Ronbo.
No, this is good stuff. This is therapeutic.
Pedestal right now.
No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we're getting mad about the picks. We're getting on Kyle because we feel it was unfair to him. We're getting over. We're not saying anything about the injury factor. And I don't know, to put everything, if we were sitting in a courtroom, I don't know, the judge would have to rule in what way. There's a lot of accusations being passed around here. A lot of designating blame. So.
I mean, if Trey played like Brock, everybody was saying Trey is the greatest thing since sliced bread, right?
And there wouldn't be any controversy. He'd be the guy.
But Brock was drafted Mr. Irrelevant, so then he can't be that good because everybody missed him. Well, there's a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, Brady was picked in the 6th round.
Yeah, Montana was in the first round.
There's Hall of Famers that have not been picked early. So let's just take a little bit breather. The other thing is, what we're complaining about is backups. We're complaining about backups.
That's true.
And to say we haven't invested in the offensive line, well, Trent Williams is the highest paid left tackle in football.
Well, yeah, and the best.
Right?
Yeah.
And the best. Aaron Banks we got in the 2nd round. Yeah. So we invested a 2nd-round pick on Aaron Banks.
That's true, too.
Brendel we just paid. And between the 3 of them last year, they only gave up 4 sacks.
And 2 of them went to the Pro Bowl.
Now, Burford gets his 2nd-year improvement. And McKivitz plays well. We've got a solid offensive line. We just can't get any injuries because we have no depth on offensive line.
We don't have a swing tackle.
My biggest worry is Nick,
who at this hour has not signed as of yet. Yeah.
I don't know. That's my biggest worry.
Yeah,
because without Bosa, we have no pass rush.
Yeah, we're not the same team. We got to have Nick Bosa.
And I was preaching get another pass rusher just in case, but
well, you know what? Ngakwe is still available. I don't know. The 49ers.
No, he signed.
What?
Signed.
When? I've been watching.
He signed with Chicago.
Oh no. Well, David
Houston's gone too, so there's no edge rushers out there. Period.
Oh, Houston! I was going to say next. Oh my God, because Clowney, I wasn't even interested anyway. Oh, Jesus!
I mean, Drake Jackson is the guy we're counting on, and Cleveland Farrell.
No,
without Nick, that Pittsburgh game's going to be tough without Nick Bosa.
Absolutely. You got to have Nick. There's got to be something the 49ers can do to just go ahead and – I don't know. Do you know anything about what's going on in that contract? What's the holdup? You hear anything?
I don't know.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know. Maybe he's just waiting for the Chiefs guy to sign so he can get another –
Chris, I know, right? Well, Phil, we got to go.
I don't know. Maybe,
maybe
there's a difference between the best paid edge rusher and, what's his name from the Rams?
Oh, Aaron, I know. Well, Phil, let me see you tomorrow. And between now and tomorrow, maybe we'll have the good news. Nick will have signed. All right, Phil.
But no worries. Brock is the guy. All right? He really is. I have every confidence in that. All right, Ronbo. I had to get on my soap dish about what's going on.
No, I'm glad you called in. You pointed out some very accurate things. All right, Phil. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.
All right, Ronbo.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye. And it's Justin who says Jimmy G lives rent free in your heads, I swear. Well, Justin, actually, Jimmy G has nothing to do with this. In fact, Jimmy G is like not even involved here. He can be used as an example, but beyond that, this has nothing to do with him. But thanks for that contribution. And of course, Rudy says, the number one picks, $27 million. God bless Kyle. Yeah. Another thing we do, and Rudy doesn't know anything what's going on with the 49ers organization, but when you pick a quarterback, it's not just the head coach. I understand what you're saying. Kyle does. He's got the signature on everything that's going to be going through, but maybe, there's a room full of guys. Kyle's not going to be so to the point where he's not going to listen to anybody else speak. And he came out later and said that he had a pick between. He actually did want the guy everybody said wasn't even coming here. I know, Mac Jones was on Kyle's mind. So everybody that thought that they knew Kyle, and even his buddy Chris, who was selling it, that Kyle's already informed him that he wants Mac Jones, and we didn't believe it. It was true. Hey.
What's going on, Big Ronbo?
Oh, yeah, man. It's, all hell's breaking loose because we're trying to figure out here. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that feel Trey's been mistreated. There's a lot of people that figure that Kyle is the devil behind all the evil that's taking place. The offensive line is probably, Phil just pointed out something that we probably need to take seriously. The 49ers have actually been working on the offensive line, but like I said earlier, everything is piece by piece with the 49ers. Now, next year, even though Show says we're going to get a quarterback in the draft, it's definitely going to be the offensive line, priority one. Sean, I'm going to bet you on that, too. But, what are you thinking?
Of course. I think Trent might be gone next year. So
yes.
We definitely pick up that left tackle.
He got 2 seasons left at most to be effective. This one and possibly next year.
I don't know why. I had to get up for this one because I think your boy got me. You kind of shoot the caller you had on earlier.
Which one?
Just before me.
Oh, Phil, just now.
Yeah. I don't care what the Jets do or Cleveland do.
Well, then that's a good point.
If they making bad mistakes, doesn't make us make bad mistakes right behind them.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be our organization to make mistakes like that. We supposed to be higher than that. We had a team already built for now. We picked up a quarterback with need progression and work. He did not get no time or no progression in this system. I still didn't see a broken hand. He played with a broken hand? I don't think so.
Finger.
No,
now, you remember, the ball was coming out of his hand. There was no spin on it. And that sounds right. The index finger, that ball comes off the index finger. That's the last thing that goes, and the ball spins. It looked like a shot put coming out of his hand. We can believe that finger. It was a helmet injury. Remember the helmet from the Raiders hit his hand as he came back down, and it affected his throwing. So that's.
I don't know. I don't agree with that one because it seemed like he would have had a cast on it or something. What prevented him from doing this. But you tell me the guy who has a broken finger, you ran 12 times running?
Well, because he couldn't throw it.
Isn't that more chance of getting your finger hurt?
Yeah. He probably should have just sat down, to be honestly. Yeah.
That don't make no sense to me on that one. Now, we at this point right now where, in my mind, like I said, I think a whole bunch of people said this, I got to kind of say, the Jimmy Ward situation, did you agree with the conversation that you think Kyle Shanahan had with Jimmy Ward?
No, that's disrespectful.
And he keep doing this. It's like we keep saying, I got another question. Do you think Kyle Shanahan is brilliant?
Yeah. Well, his play designs, his play calling, I've never had a problem.
We had a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl.
Well, then,
why couldn't he design a play to get us not to lose the Super Bowl?
Well, yeah, you got a 10-point in a Super Bowl. If you got a 10-point lead, that's actually pretty interesting. That's pretty good. That doesn't happen in a Super Bowl where two
He
teams
did
are
a
kind of
play
evenly
action
matched.
pass. He did a play action pass on his 1 yard line.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Made
there was definitely some mistakes made.
Everybody makes mistakes. So why can't you work with Trey Lance and get it done? Like, I'm not on Trey Lance. I'm not on Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy did great. But what if Trey Lance would have did the same thing if he wouldn't have got hurt and went 7-1?
There'd be no Brock Purdy.
Would y'all be saying, huh?
There'd be no Brock Purdy if that
Instead
had
of
been the
Brock
case.
Purdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Lance is this, Trey Lance is. Now it wouldn't have been that. Brock Purdy played 8 games. 8 games. That's it. We cannot pronounce this man as nothing but what he is, because we did that with Jimmy G when he won 5 straight, and then what happened?
Well, we went to a Super Bowl. Okay, here's the thing. You can't just insert things that would be desirable or a utopia. It is what it is. And that's why the 49ers can't go on supposing we do this or suppose we do that. They got to make concrete decisions real quick. And if Trey's hurt, unfortunately, that's going to bear on decisions made. This thing about go ahead and finish this. I'm going to see where you're going with that.
What decision did they make was good when he was hurt? To play him? To run him? That's the decision you made?
I don't know that I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, because I guess they wanted to get him out there as soon as possible, and then that might have been a mistake. If his finger's not working, he can't throw the ball. What's he going to do? But then again, they didn't want to sit him the entire season, and apparently that finger lasted the whole season, which is crazy in itself.
Look what they did. All right, I want to go a little bit. Look what they did to Brock Purdy when he got hurt. He put him back out there, and he couldn't throw a ball.
What are you talking about? I mean, which game is that? The
got
NFCCG?
Yes, the championship game.
Yeah, well, but for a minute, and that was after what's his name went down. Didn't he come in at the end of the game when Johnson went down?
He came in at the second half.
Yeah, we didn't have another quarterback.
Johnson went down.
No, we didn't have another quarterback.
We should have went wild. We should have went wild. We didn't have a quarterback, right? So why put another quarterback? We had Juwan Jennings play quarterback in high school and college sometime. I think it was high school. CMC can do the Wildcat. Debo can do the Wildcat. There's different things you can do, but just send out a quarterback who can't throw a ball.
I tell you what, though, and from this point on, the 49ers might work on the Wildcat. I mean, a lot of teams might work on the Wildcat. Now, I don't think they didn't have time to work on that. You can't go out there in that level of a game and just ad-lib it. You know what I'm saying? So Brock can hand off the ball. If there's anything he could do, he can hand the ball off, which is all he did.
We had 2 quarterbacks go down. You should have been prepared for this, because we only have 2 quarterbacks, but Josh Johnson was not prepared at all.
Yeah. He made me mad.
He looked crazy, because when you looked at him at Baltimore, he looked good. Now look what he looked like.
Right? I'm wondering about that. I didn't know he could play that well. So, it became a panic situation.
Like I said, when I talk about the Jimmy Ward situation, somehow somebody keep thinking that somebody keep telling them they're brilliant. Everything they do is brilliant. Some things you're doing is wrong, and it's just what it is.
Oh, no, wait. Now, you don't misunderstand me. I didn't say everything Kyle Shanahan does is good. I do believe his play calling, designs, and things like that are special. But his behavior sometimes beyond the field, there are times when he's questionable, for sure.
He's, like I said, he's the offensive coordinator in a way, and I like all of them. But like this now, it's got me peeved. Like I said, we went up to get this guy. You went to this guy's house 3 or 4 times. You talked to his mother. You got him to San Francisco. You did all this throwing around, and now you're saying he's not good enough?
Yeah, but a lot happens since that, going over to visit mom, though.
The Jets quarterback, who they picked number 3, is better than ours, which they've been having problems with their quarterback, a worse organization than us. And their quarterback is better than the one we picked.
And he's out of a job. So that's the way it works. We got to go, though. We'll be back tomorrow, and let's see what they look like. Trey's going to play tomorrow. We'll see.
Yes.
Right.
I had to talk to you. I had to get on in, but
You
you
know,
know
no
what I
problem
mean?
with that.
Like, subscribe. Ronbo, you the best. Let's go.
Thanks,
Niners.
Sam. All righty. Hang in there. We're going to be okay.
All right. We
All
good.
right. All right,
Always. I got to go to sleep now. Well, I got to
All right.
calm down and go to sleep.
You'll be
All
okay.
right.
Night.
Number 3, quarterback 3. Yeah, all right.
Listen, Atlanta by nature says Sir Lance, king of the trade market. Hey, Steven.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Oh, yeah, hold on, because they're not production side. Okay, the low-pay O-line. Eli, the low-pay O-line got 4 quarterbacks hurt last year. About $30 million for the starting O-line this season. I know. Anyway, hey, Steven, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Thanks, Eli.
What's up, Ronbo?
Yeah, well, you know, we're raking over the ashes.
Man, I mean, we were complaining that we weren't never going to play Trey. We played Trey. We played him real good. 3 seasons on the bench. Signed a second QB. Drafted a Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, we played him all right. Played the shit out of him.
Well,
yeah, some people want to compare it to the Jets, but it's like, in our situation, though, I mean, they ended up getting an all-star quarterback who actually won a Super Bowl, and we have a rookie and a guy from nowhere, from the fucking Panthers, who's never played on a high-powered offense. So it's like, can you really, really compare the two? No. But I think the problem with a lot of people and why they're ragging on the 49ers is because they made it seem like he was going to be QB1 from the jump. The moment Jimmy's out, he's QB1. And Jimmy's out, Trey's in, breaks his ankle. What happens? Oh, okay, well, that's year 2. Year 2. We're on year 3. Comes back, competes against Sam Darnold, someone who's a veteran. This kid has barely had any reps in the NFL. You know, it's like can you really, I mean, to keep him as third string would be like the biggest, I think everyone can agree. For him to stay on third string without giving him room to improve would be like a giant fuck you to Trey.
I know, right? I'm thinking, do you remain motivated if you're Trey Lance? How do you feel now? I honestly, Steven, if I'm Trey Lance, I'm begging for a trade. Please move me, guys. Let me start over. I mean, that's what I would do.
Well, I think that's what anyone would do.
I mean, it's embarrassing.
Anybody would do. I mean, really, give him a second chance. Give him a second chance to at least compete for number 2.
But they are trying to move him, and they have been since February. So, good luck to that.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. And Trey, I guess apparently Trey and Sam's agent are the same. It's the same person.
It's the same organization for sure. And that's how that got out. Here's the thing. We talk about Kyle's brilliance. Kyle, what did you think he was going to do after you called him in? You broke his heart so badly that you told him to take the rest of the day off to gather yourself and let's come on back tomorrow and let's work. Of course he's going to call his agent and tell him what happened.
No, like, honestly, like, what? I mean, how else is Trey supposed to react to that? Hey, I know we drafted you in the 3rd round. So
First round,
what?
3rd pick.
You were drafted in the 3rd round. Now you're 3rd string. Have fun. Like, what the fuck? No, this was supposed to be my team. Of course, I mean, there couldn't have been a more solid, go fuck yourself, Trey. Nice knowing you. Then
Steven,
what just happened? Why
Steven,
would we do that to Javon?
Steve, we're having a little trouble hearing you. Is there anything you do different?
No, I mean, yeah, how about now? Better?
Pretty much the same. A little. Well, okay, go ahead. Let me see if we can hear it though.
How about now? Okay. So my thing is that this man, it makes me mad because it's like we're giving Javon Kinlaw, someone who is just a standstill defensive end, multiple chances. He's been on the team since before Trey even showed up. And where's he at? How
Second
is he
string.
performing in practice?
Remember, Steven, he is no longer a starter.
Yeah. Ronbo, we have a 3rd string QB. Give this kid a chance. Don't be like, oh, yeah, he's going to he's going to be number 3. Like, I'm pretty sure Trey would have been fine at number 2, and Darnold would have been fine at number 3.
Steven, you know what?
Like, okay,
I just want to amplify on that point. You know what? Exactly true. You don't need to call him. Darnold just wanted a job. He'll go anywhere. He'll play third string, second. It doesn't. You don't have to give him his business card does not need to say QB2, just to humiliate Trey. You know, if you don't want to put Trey in, and if somebody goes down, then you put Trey in. If Brock goes down, Trey goes on the field first. Well, see now, I just don't know what it's going to do to his ego or his psyche to continue to play football with the 49ers. But go ahead. But that's a good point.
They fucked Trey. Mentally, physically, nobody's going to want him because now he's for one, they're going to look at his injury history. Like, oh, yeah, he's a bad QB, but then, you know, he's always injured. And then, 2, he's not going to think of himself as his captain anymore that he did when he first started, when he would command the locker room. You know, it makes me mad because it's like, why would you hype up this kid? Why would you build him up and then destroy him and then tell him, no, it's okay, it's all right, and then continue to destroy him right after? Sam did not need to be QB2. He didn't fucking care. He was like, you know what, I'm here. As long as I'm winning, that's all that matters. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to start. Holy shit, I just got number 2.
I need to see his incentive package, though. Did being quarterback 2, does he get paid for that as well? I wonder.
I don't know. But you know what, Ronbo, here's the thing. If I was Trey and I got told, hey, Sam's going to start before you, sorry, you can take the rest of the day off if you want to. I know how you feel. Man, I had a spat in Kyle's face and smack the shit out of him.
Or at least say a few bad words.
Like trade me. No,
he's not that kind of kid. He should have asked for a trade, though. Well, you know what? He didn't have to ask for a trade, though, because word is that the 49ers have been trying to move him for months.
It's absolutely disrespectful. It's probably the most disrespectful thing that could possibly happen to an NFL player at all. I mean, really, that's.
I can't recall or compare it to anything I've ever seen or heard.
This is probably it's the biggest screw job in NFL history. Like, you only see this stuff in like movies or like wrestling. I mean, or like other sports like basketball when the Kings got robbed. But it's like, you're really going to do this to this kid who you selected at number 3, hyped up at number 3, gave away so much capital for number 3, to tell everyone that, oh, you're going to start him at number 1 and then demote him to number 3.
As recently as this time last year. Yeah.
Ronbo, don't get me wrong. Brock, I love him. He's a great QB. Don't get me wrong. But if we're looking back at the last game against the Broncos, Trey blew up the fucking field like I've never seen him before. And it was insane because I was like, holy shit, finally, Brock has some competition. It's not going to be a wash. Let's do this. I'm glad to have Trey at number 2. Now he's number 3. What did Sam do? What did Sam do? Did he get on his knees and suck Kyle off to get that number 2 position?
Remember,
Steven,
some of his points, as far as being promoted, go in practice too. They're looking at more than just the preseason games, from what I'm understanding. So, yeah, it's not as easy as we think.
It wasn't a landslide. That's the worst part. It was never a landslide. It was like neck and neck between the two, duking it out. And the worst part is that both of them didn't get any of the first team reps. Only Brock did. Sam and Trey got 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So of course it's going to be neck and neck. Match them up at number 1. See what it looks like from there.
Yeah.
See what it looks like. See, go 1, 2, 3. Don't go like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do 2 and 3, and then judge based off of that because they're gonna look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Steven.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Right,
Steve, but we got to pull up though. Points taken. Good stuff. Tim, I'm going to be back tomorrow. We're going to watch the game, and I'm sure we're going to be upset about that because Trey's probably going to light the place up. We'll see.
He's probably not going to be there. Ronbo, I guarantee you, I would be shocked if Trey was there. I don't think he's going to be there, but I would be shocked if he was.
A real possibility. His mom might call him and say, listen, You don't have to play that game tomorrow. They've already pretty much embarrassed and insulted you enough. When you come home. Can you imagine? And Trey does it. I'll see Steven, I got to go. The production's going to cut us down. I'll see you tomorrow, though. My best little run.
I know they did. They just muted me. You have a good night, Ronbo.
Good night. Okay. Hey, KC.
Hello.
Hey, Casey. You gonna go wear it? Who's gonna go wear it at 9:00?
Yo, Ronbo, man.
You need some time.
Can you come back to me in
We can do that.
a caller or two?
No problem.
Thanks, buddy.
All righty. Casey's working on something there. Hey, here we go. Tony. Come on in, Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony. Size it up. Size it up, Tony. I know you got a lot of thoughts on this.
This is the biggest horse shit I've ever seen in my life. All right? Now, I want to qualify what I'm about to say by saying Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold have got no blame in this game. They're just people
doing the job,
trying to get a job,
yep.
All right? Trying to get a job, trying to make it somewhere. Question number one to everybody out there. If Trey Lance was bumped by 3 organizations and had 45 yards in his last game and the same amount of picks as Donald, ask yourself, would Kyle have signed him? Would he? Really? Are you serious? John Lynch has got nothing to do with this football team except picking all the players that you love, all right, all the defensive players. Remember, leave John Lynch out of the conversation. John Lynch was hired by Kyle Shanahan, all right? Didn't hire himself. He was hired by Kyle. Kyle is judge, jury, and executioner. And John Lynch distanced himself when he was asked about the pick for the quarterback. He said, no. I've got nothing to do with that. That's Kyle's baby. All right? Now, this kid never got the same chance as Brock Purdy. He never got 7 games. He didn't get jack shit. And I told you the other day, Ronbo, this guy's setting him up to fail. He's only giving him 4 snaps here, 7 snaps here, not with the ones, with the third team, with this team, with that team. Kyle, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm the quarterback. I'm the guru. You're not the guru, mate. You're a piece of crap. That's what Kyle Shanahan is. I don't care what kind of a play caller. He's just a nerd that goes home and writes down plays. You want to know what's going to happen, Ronbo?
What?
All right. The Philadelphia Eagles laid down the template. The coach said, I don't give a shit if Kyle Shanahan's in the back there behind the quarterback and you think he's going to throw the ball. I don't care which way the pocket's going to go. Get after the quarterback. That's it. Full stop. The template's there. All right. Let's see what's going to happen with Brock, and I wish him all the best. Same with Sam. All right. Are they going to attack the right side, keep forcing him to go left, and then stack the safeties and the corners on that side so that he can't throw the ball to the right? Is Shanahan going to game plan for that? We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen.
Actually, he is on that. Well, Tony, he is going to plan on that. Now, if they're going to, okay, you know what, Tony. The bad thing is, well, not the bad thing, but the thing is, Shannon's going to outcoach most DCs. Whatever they throw at him, he's going to anticipate. He's going to be ready for it. So that won't work. What we've got is, unfortunately, Trey would have been able to exclamation points to a lot of what Shanahan wants to do. But the fact still remains, though, he wasn't able to stay healthy. And that's an unfortunate thing. And I really think
that's
had
not
he had
his
time.
fault, brother.
Well, I'm just saying, if he wouldn't have hurt
didn't
his
run himself in
ankle.
between tackles, mate. Okay, the finger, let's forget about the fingers, Trey's fault. Trey didn't run himself in between the tackles. And Shanahan
That's
went
true.
on KNBR and said, we tried to make him look good. That's what your dad said about
RG3.
RG3.
Yeah.
All right? You just regurgitated the words that your dad said.
Yeah.
You never gave him a chance. All right? He wouldn't play him with the ones. Why not? Is he going to play him with the ones this week? Right? Come on, man. You're telling me the kid got a fair go?
But I would like to see, though. You know what? Do the Cowboys, are they considered pretty much still the best offensive line in the NFL? You know, actually, he needs an offensive line that's going to keep him safe because Trey does run. If you see his film from Dakota, he does run a lot. And that's how his passing game works. So I think, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I think that's what Kyle was trying to do. Put him back at Dakota and run a college-style offense. And it didn't work.
I know it's your show, and I know you're not allowed to say you have to be politically correct. But this guy
I rarely am.
is done in my books, all right? And the best thing for Trey is if McDaniel, all right, because what's his name's going to get head concussion again, all right?
Yeah, real quick.
McDaniel, who Shanahan gave him the first-round pick, gets Trey, trains him up, and comes back and sticks it up Kyle's where the sun don't shine, and Kyle's standing there looking like a chump.
That would be interesting, though, wouldn't it? Tony, we're gonna go though. Well, good stuff. I love the energy and emotion too. Tomorrow, let's see what happens. Everybody's eyes are gonna be on Trey tomorrow, just to see where his mind is right now.
Just like I said, Ronbo, ask yourself: if Trey had the record that this guy had, would Shanahan have signed him?
Which
you
one?
know the answer to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone. Well, let's see what happens. See you in the next chapter, brother.
Could be interesting. All right,
Time
Tony.
to drain the swamp.
Yeah. I know. This is what the political terms out. Hey, Tony, I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Hey, Jalen. Jalen made the phrase of the year. He did not ask to get picked at number 3. Hey, Jalen.
Cardinals, y'all are relevant. Rams, y'all some bombs. Seahawks haven't won a ring in 10 years and counting. I know that can't be fun.
Yeah.
What's up, Ronbo?
Because they stopped talking trash. The Hawks quit talking. The Rams were the Hawks were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, Ronbo. Kyle, I hate to say I told y'all so, damn it. But I told y'all so. I told man, look, bro, I told y'all Trey Lance was not the right guy for 3, Ronbo. The only competition he played against college was James Madison, and the boy ran the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
30 times? Yeah, Ronbo, that ain't gonna get you nowhere. And the NFL
Jalen, we talked
level.
about this the other day. If you know this, Kyle, you watch the same tape as everybody else. What were you thinking, and how are you going to change him? Or did we see what Kyle's plan was? I'm going to bring him out of Dakota. I'm going to run the same offense he's running. He's going to run the ball, and he's going to be killed. They don't have the same kind of defensive players in the NFL as they do at Dakota.
Ronbo, I told you why Kyle took Trey Lance. He never wanted Mac Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all can keep thinking that he wanted Mac Jones. He did not want Mac Jones. He wanted Trey Lance all along, Ronbo. But I'm telling you, if Mac Jones was never in the equation and it was just Justin Fields or Trey Lance, guys would have been comparing those two from the moment we drafted up until Trey Lance started. People would have been looking at Justin Fields and Trey Lance. Instead, he had the people thinking that we would have took a third option. So now we spinning in circles trying to see, well, he could take Justin Fields, he could take Trey, he could take Mac Jones, compared to if it was only just 2 people with 2 similar skill sets. He knew what he was doing. You're not going to get credit for those 60-yard runs Justin Fields made, and you weren't going to get credit for Mac Jones' development because he was already next to Trevor Lawrence, the most NFL-ready quarterback. So the only person he wanted to bring in was the guy that he knew that was raw, that he was going to only get the credit for, because Jimmy Garoppolo, every time he played, he won. And when he didn't win. And people pointed that out. And so he got sick of that. So now he wants a quarterback that he was going to get all the credit for,
Okay,
a.k.a.
listen, but
Trey
wait a
Lance.
minute. You got to add in that one point of the 49ers not wanting to spend any money on the quarterback. But that you spend still too much money going all the way to point number 3. That quarterback gets paid a lot too, even if it is a draft. So I'm not sure how that intertwines with all this madness that we're having to go through. When you sort out all the evidence, it's weird, Jalen. It really is.
Yeah, Ronbo. I mean, most quarterbacks and most athletes in general, they usually get that wake up call that they're not the biggest, strongest, fastest guy anymore in college. I mean, you can look at Lamar Jackson. For as good as he was in college as a runner, the man still threw at like a 57% in college, because as good as you are as an athlete, you still can't just throw any kind of way against Division One football. You can't. That's why people had hesitations about him when they were drafting him, because they was like, can he do it as a passer? Because he was throwing at 57%. As good as an athlete as he was, Rombo, because hear me out with this. Out of those 7 down linemen that you go against, there's probably going to be about 1 or 2 who's going to get drafted, compared to those 4 defensive backs that you're throwing against. 2 of those guys could be first-round picks, and another guy could go later in the round. So you're dealing with possibly 3 NFL players compared to 1 NFL pass rusher that you could possibly be going against.
And Jalen, do you remember Rich Scangarello?
Who?
Rich Scangarello, the quarterback's coach that got fired.
Talking about for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
what
you're saying is why Scangarello got fired? He said the same thing you're saying. That Trey's the division he's playing is this, and he hasn't experienced this, and he hasn't experienced this, and he hasn't experienced that, and that's why he's probably not what we want. And I guess that got into a heated debate, and Rich got excused.
I mean, yeah, Rombo, like, you think about it in college, Rombo, guys aren't dominating in both ways in college. You're either dominating as a quarterback running, or you're dominating throwing the ball, but you're not doing both. Nobody's doing both.
And that's true.
Like, nobody's doing both.
Except Mahomes.
Rombo. As good as I mean, I don't even think back in college I didn't see him. I didn't see him
ran,
running the ball back in college.
Not all the time. He was still a pocket presence.
But even then, Rombo, he was a turnover machine. Even then, he was, it's certain throws you can't just do against talent, because you're going against similar talent compared to guys that you can just run away from. You know what I mean? Like, Trey, his first wake up call was once he got to the NFL and he realized he couldn't run around and throw these wide open balls anymore. Rombo, that's a lot to come into.
Yeah,
that is
especially
a lot.
The speed
that's a lot to come into. Yeah, man. Rombo. It's 2 things that I look for when it comes to rookie quarterbacks. Is the game moving too fast for you, and are you able to perform with a good team around you? Basically what Justin Fields has been going through. We're still trying to see, is he good because is the game moving too fast, or is it just because he doesn't have a team around him? That's 2 things I look at. That's 2 things I look for. Is the game moving too fast, and what's the team around you? So Trey, you got a good team around you. There's no excuses for. I mean, here's my only thing on why I'm so hard on Trey, because Brock Purdy came in, and in 2 weeks, Rombo, he looked better than Trey in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you can let's compare that Miami game and that Bucs game compared to Trey's Arizona game and that Texas game, Rombo. I mean,
I know
come on now,
Jalen. We got to stop though, because production's all over me tonight. They'll cut us off. So listen,
we still kings of the West. Yeah. Colin needed a 2-year rest. Gene and Rudy can keep on crying because the 49ers going to be the best. Let me get a Niner shout out, Rombo.
There you go.
Let's not forget, y'all. Breath smelling like Similac, wet behind the ear. Nuts ain't dropped yet. Face is bald as Mr. Clean's head. Nick Mullins beat the Raiders on national TV. First game in his career. And Rombo, this just isn't some game you could catch if you stayed in California. No. This was prime time TV, baby. Everybody saw this in 4K, live and in stereo. Hell, Solomon Grundy saw it from the swamp, and the Joker saw it in Gotham. from Arkham Asylum. Jesus Christ, my Ronbo, the game was an embarrassment.
Trey, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, God.
Good luck with your 0-17, Rudy.
Yeah, I know. Rams fans killed me. Hey, Clarence.
Hey, Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
Well, Clarence, all hell's broken loose because you know how we argue about the quarterbacks, and now we have this situation. So it's going to escalate. And as I said at the beginning of the program, I said, you know what? This is like what we do each and every year at the same time. There's quarterback issues, and this year's not going to be any different. In fact, this may have escalated from last 2 years. Well, Clarence, where are you at on this? Nobody wants to talk about the football game, so you can just go ahead and use your time because there's a lot to be said on that. And so go right ahead.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah. With Trey, it's just been unfortunate circumstance. Like I said, he hasn't been able. Kyle drafted Trey because basically he drafted him to a ready-made team, ready to go, and basically all he had to do was learn enough and progress enough to
say goodbye to Jimmy
to go
the next
ahead
year.
And
because we're not paying Jimmy.
Right, exactly.
Let's get him up to speed.
Jimmy in their back pocket, exactly, for that. Hoping that we could at least go to the bowl with Jimmy that year,
win it,
and then give Trey the keys. But problem was, Trey got hurt the first year, so that stunted his development. And then obviously and then he was looking good in practice and preseason, and then the games came along, and then we had the monsoon, which there was no value. You couldn't evaluate Trey at that point still, because bad weather, this and that, and then he gets hurt. In Seattle, and then he loses that year as well. So he's lost years of development, and we already know with this offense, it's not easy. It's not.
Those timing routes, that takes a lot of work to get that down. I mean, the guys who have done well had a lot of work in it. That's why it looked easy, but that is not easy.
Right. And like I said, the fact that Trey was in a pro-style offense, and he probably knew some of those. So he probably knows the concepts and everything, and he's very, smart enough to know the plays and know where to go. The problem is there was no muscle memory for those plays because he hadn't had enough reps. So it's just one of those things. It's one of those things that's unfortunate. And, and then he lost out to Sam Darnold because he just, Sam's had reps.
Years of messing up and to learn from. And everybody thinks that Darnold is still the same Darnold he was when he went to the Jets. But actually, he has evolved to some degree. And last year, toward the end, that's the only reason why Kyle called him up. He actually looked decent.
Yeah, man. Well, decent. That's exactly. And then I think with Kyle and with Darnold and everything, he basically, we already know Kyle has an ego, so he basically bet his ego that he could make Sam better than what he was.
Yep.
Because he knows Sam had the skill set and the talent, arm talent, and everything else to be able to do that. And like I said, with Trey, he didn't have the muscle memory. He didn't have the footwork. He didn't have the things that you need to be able to run this West Coast offense. And having the Christensen guy help him out get that done. With Darnold, he had those traits already. And
Clarence,
it's just unfortunate for Trey.
And you point that out, and that's one of the reasons why people accuse Kyle Shanahan as being very poor at developing young quarterbacks. And, I think, and I don't want to defend Kyle on this, but I do believe that one of the things, if Kyle was just the OC or just the quarterbacks coach, I think we'd see a lot different Trey Lance. But you can't be a head coach, and Andy Reid, Bieniemy, should get more credit and love than he gets. That's why you have a staff. You can't do it all yourself. And unfortunately, I think that's what Trey fell victim to.
Well, that's very true. And I think with Purdy, like I said, Purdy, I think had a good,
4 years of college. His coaches must have been pretty good. Yeah.
Exactly. 4 years of college. And I think the fact that, again, we'll see what it is this year, but you can see if Brian Greasy, the quarterbacks coach, had a lot to do with Brock's development and see how he progresses this year. Because if Brock is as good or better than what he was last year, then we know
it's real.
At that point, it's not a fluke. We got lucky with the pick, but I'm saying it's not a fluke that Brock has the talent.
Oh, that's right. Lucky. How do you get the last kid in the draft, and he comes out there, and no matter what anybody says, he looks like he knows what he's doing
and things like that.
Yeah,
I heard today is like the reason why everybody liked Brock is because he's able to process and he's able to push the ball. He's able to push the ball.
And reflexes and processing is a huge part of what a quarterback does. Clarence, let me see you tomorrow, and after the game we'll talk some more. Okay.
Tomorrow night.
All right.
Oh yeah, after the game. Here we go.
All right, Clarence.
I'll talk to you later on. God bless.
Appreciate you, Clarence. Thank you. All right. Hey, Casey, are you ready?
What's that?
Casey, we're pretty much where we
Casey,
always are.
We are shaking. The 49ers faithful are shaking.
We are shaking, exactly. Casey, do you have issue?
Ronbo, good thing.
Go ahead.
Good thing the last pick in the draft decided to show up and
what are the
take all the
odds?
worries
Casey,
away.
you're a betting man. Would you have taken that bet? The last kid picked in the draft.
Of what? That Purdy shows up the way
that
he
Purdy's
has?
actually going to be any good. I thought he was fodder. That's why the 49ers picking him up for as a quarterback. What is he going to do as a quarterback? The last kid in the draft should not be a quarterback. Oh, was I mistaken?
Yeah, well, Ronbo, I don't watch college, but
I don't either. But still,
if I had known that he was a 4-year starter,
you'd have thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people out there that knew what Purdy was capable of.
They talk about it all the time. I don't believe them. I think they're just saying that to make themselves look like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm looking at. I can judge college players. Even Big Show didn't go that route, and Big Show knows about every college player what he does when he's not doing anything else. He's checking out to see who can play ball or not.
I know it's kind of funny to me to think, like, when was the moment that Kyle realized, like, whoa, they know he can do that, I mean,
they said though they knew it. They were going to pick him up even if they didn't draft him. They would have given it a UDFA.
Honestly, if Brock if Jimmy never got hurt, and Brock's not there, maybe Kyle gets fired by now. I mean, I don't know who takes responsibility for this pick, but it is a very frustrating thing to see. It reminds me of my ex, Ronbo. When so much is invested in something and it all just goes to waste, and now someone needs to go to another team and they're saying give him a chance to be great and all this stuff. It's just
I hate to
sad,
laugh,
Ronbo. I don't know.
But that example is hilarious.
San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyle's like one of these. He's just so out of pocket and everything he says now. He's like cat got his tongue. I don't take anything that he says serious anymore.
Well, that's why he bailed yesterday after it was found out.
I heard he said that Sam could be the next Steve Young, Ronbo.
That's been said a few times, and then Kyle said that. I didn't catch him saying that, but too many people saying that he said that. And then you got Matt Mayoko, who lost his mind earlier. He's one of the best. Yeah. How did Matt Mayoko put it? One of the greatest, the best throwers, most talented throwers. The most talented throwers I've ever seen.
Oh, so that was Matt's way of trying, knowing insider stuff. And,
Oh,
yeah,
I had
trying to
thought
plant
about
the seeds
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to call it earlier, but
Kyle's been saying that about him for years, though. Remember, they wanted him before they wanted. Well, after Kirk Cousins was gone, they liked Sam Darnold. They wanted him way back in 2018, 2019.
it's funny to me to think too. Like, what has Purdy been doing this whole time? Has he just been in church, like looking at his phone? What are like he's kind of like it's like a Star Wars thing to me now, Ronbo. He's turned into the Sith Lord. His eyes are red. He's got the hood on, and it'd be a shame if Sam was named number 2, Like,
Wait,
but no,
he didn't miss a
Purdy's just
pass
doing
yesterday in
himself,
practice, though. He got inspired or something. You know what? Him and Trey are close. All the quarterbacks seem to like each other. I don't know how genuine it is, but they all seem to like each other and support each other. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And Jimmy left and said, when he left, and he actually said while he was over in Vegas, yeah, I wouldn't wish that hellhole on anybody, I said, talking about the 49ers, but Jimmy's always smiling. He never said anything.
I'd love to hear what Alex Smith has to say about all this.
Oh, he was pissed. I mean, they brought Cap in. Cap took his job, and he just sent him packing.
No, I mean about Trey.
He
as
did.
someone who was able to not really take off until their 5th or 6th year, there's never going to be another Alex Smith.
Yeah, Smith was with Matt Mayoko, or they were sitting outside talking at the 49er facility. That was the first time they talked to Alex Smith in years. He talked about Trey. He talked about everything. So,
yeah. I just, I ask so much of Trey for anyone that age. It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it is.
And, in a way, to say the whole, like, he was at a D2 school or whatever, AA school, that kind of works in his favor, because if he had came out of, like, Stanford and, has been performing the way he was, then it would seem like it's even more of a bust, right? So,
well, if he came out of Stanford, and he came out of the big schools, Division I, you know what? Kyle wouldn't have picked him up. According to Jalen, Kyle's picking up a quarterback that he can mold into his own creation and take all the credit and glory if that quarterback does succeed. As far-fetched as that sounds, I kind of can't argue with Jalen.
Well, and I know when Jalen brought up that whole defense, he won in court. Remember, he made a real good case. He kind of annihilated Trey that night, actually. But anyway, Ronbo, it also makes me think too, like, what has Brandon Allen been doing this whole time?
Word is that Brandon Allen had started ranking above Trey as well. He's steady. He's been in the league for 7 years. Trey was up against these veteran players. He had to be nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the injuries too. It's been handled.
And then there's that.
Kyle's reputation in the league is not. He's probably not one of the league favorites.
Well, he continues to get results. Now, NFCCG 3 times out of 4, and this year, I unless something really cataclysmic happens, you can probably bet that they'll get there again. They damn well better win it. There's not a lot of teams in NFC that can really hurt the 49ers. The AFC is another story, though. So it could be get all the way to the Super Bowl and lose to Buffalo, to Kansas City. Who else is involved? Lamar Jackson could get there. The AFC is just crazy scary with all the talent. So
the 49ers are, the 49ers and the health bug, they're their own worst enemy. It kind of reminds me of a team in the Midwest, Detroit versus themselves, Just had to get that in there, Ronbo.
It was a good shot.
That fool's listening because he doesn't have a Ronbo Sports. All these Seahawks fans in the chat, you guys don't have no Ronbo Sports.
They come here for it. Casey, we
Damn
gotta
it,
go.
Ronbo, those Cardinal fans that never make a peep, they don't have a Ronbo Sports.
They don't have a team either. Casey, we gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
You're kicking me out, huh? All right.
Yeah, the production's giving me this red light.
Pissed off that Bosa is not even signed yet. What are we doing here, Ronbo? This is the San Francisco 49ers.
We're gonna be
All
okay.
right, later, Rumble. Have a good night, man.
You too, fam. Appreciate you waiting too. And hey, Bill.
I've been waiting to make this statement
Yes.
patiently.
Okay.
You trade Trey Lance. In 2 years, if we don't win a Super Bowl, you fire Kyle Shanahan.
You gonna wait that long?
No exceptions. Well, yeah, I would wait that long because of some good draft picks coming in next year. Especially, let's go back to the day Jerry Rice became a Niner. Let's say we never picked Jerry Rice. How many Super Bowls will we have?
That's a tough question to answer. It's kind of hypothetical.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
it? The thing is, there's somebody else.
Yeah.
Fate has a way of making things work, Bill. Something else would have happened. If it wasn't Jerry,
Yeah,
it would have been
I
something
don't
else.
believe. I'm going to say Brendan Rice. I'm still stuck on him. We need to get him if we don't do good.
Is that Jerry's
I
son?
have a feeling we need to look at. Have you ever checked out Brendan Rice?
Is that Jerry's son, Brendan?
Yeah.
No, he's been talked about. I've never seen him in action, though.
There's highlights. Look at them on YouTube, and we'll talk about that
Okay.
when you get off, like tomorrow before you get on. Look at them and let me know what you think.
All right.
You'll be like, oh my gosh, he's like I think an inch or two taller than his dad. He's got hands. He's got speed. He's got it all. But yeah, like I said, Trey really didn't have a chance. We can't be dogging him. We're gonna have we run with two quarterbacks. I mean, second question is who wants Sam Darnold? Who else wants Sam Darnold?
Well, that's why he's with us, because there wasn't a lot of offers out there. Kyle went and got him. Did Kyle go and get him, or did Sam? Who approached who? I think Kyle approached him. He's been wanting him for a long time.
Yeah, well, like I said, we don't need to be letting Trey Lance go.
He's not.
Because remember the NFC Championship when we lost our quarterback?
Yes.
And the second one?
Yeah.
What are we going to do if that happens again, Ronbo? We'll be talking about why do we get rid of Trey?
Bill, Trey's
why
not
do we
leaving.
get rid of Trey?
Unless somebody offers somebody, and I don't think anybody's going to offer the 49ers anything for Trey. I don't know what the floor limit or the ceiling is on what they'll accept, but Trey's not getting traded. Why would I give you anything for Trey? I'm not seeing anything other than a little bit. I know he got hurt a couple of times already, and he's only been in the league for a couple of years. I'm not giving you anything for Trey, and the 49ers aren't going to say, well, we're not taking just nothing, so never mind. So he's going to come in, and you know what the problem is, Bill? I got to get Trey to continue to grind. Because if I'm Trey, I'm a little crushed by all this, and it's going to take me a little while to get over it and get ready to play ball again. But if he
Sam Darnold
does
injury prone.
Well, yeah, he's been hurt a few times too.
Injury prone, and we're not giving Brock Purdy a chance to heal. Brock Purdy's going to be out in week 3, and week 6 Sam Darnold's going to be out. So we're going to have Trey, and we're going to see what we got. I'm telling you, the O-line is absolutely garbage. I'm telling you right now, it's smart to keep Trey. Let him develop and see what we can get. So,
the humiliation
that's
is
good.
just really too much. But you went from it's my team last year at the same time to this year you're quarterback 3, I guess.
I think it's a genius move to put him behind an O-line that's not that great in case we'd have that and he has to start and he might be able to shine or give him a chance to develop. Yeah. It's sad his only development is going to come to that, but I think he could do it. Because, when we should have beat the Chiefs, they didn't have a great O-line in the Super Bowl.
But they had excellent weapons.
We have a better O-line now than they do back then.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to hear about that. I'm just saying, Ronbo, look at all the chips on the table and, don't count all the chickens before they hatch because you're going to have some hatching that you didn't even count.
Yeah, and some of them get fertilized.
Right, and I think we're going to get Nick Bosa, so we're overreacting on that. They're not going to let Nick Bosa go. They're waiting to see who they're going to keep, who they're going to get rid of, and we're going to be losing some of the defense and some of the special teams. That's who's going to mainly go. and maybe some of the old line if they don't clean up their act. So I just put it like this. Ronbo, it's going to be all right no matter how the year goes. We win the Super Bowl, we win. We have a bad year. We need to pick up the wide receiver. We win. And we'll ball out for the next 5 to 10 years. I'm looking at the long term here, Ronbo, not the short. I don't want just us to have one Super Bowl. I want us to have 5. You get where I'm going with this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll take 2 to start. I just want to have one more than everybody in the league. So people like Rudy, hey, guys, you haven't won a modern-day trophy in 29 years. And they just recently won one after 20-plus years.
The
hypocrites are just crazy out there, aren't they? My God.
Rudy reminds me of Scrumptious off of Star Wars, okay? That's what Rudy reminds me of. I don't pay no mind to someone who blabbers like that, okay? The only thing I want to say is, Cowboys, after this season and next, your cheerleaders turning 96 years old soon. So last time y'all won the Super Bowl. So how about them? Sorry, Cowboys. They got beat by the Sea Chickens in the preseason. Okay, I don't want to hear about it. So y'all ain't winning no Super Bowl.
FYI, Bill, if you want to see some real comical footage, there's clips of Dak and Stephen A. Smith at the base of the film as Dak is throwing an INT in practice. Dak is back. Bill, we got to go, though.
All right, well, later on I'll play a song dedicated to them Cowboys. You'll be laughing, but I have to make sure I can get that some of it edited out because you can't play it all on your channel, but it's really funny. Anyways, give me a 49er shout out, and don't let your kids grow up to be Cowboys. You would be paying for therapy.
Bill, I'll see you tomorrow, Bill.
Yeah, little salty Cowboy fans. Anyways, you have a nice night.
Thanks, Bill. You too. And hey, B-Ham, get in here.
Rob, what it is, baby.
B-Ham, you know what? I'm so used to this madness we go through every time of year. I'm kind of numbed out. You know, I'm looking for more madness next year at this time. Don't pay it no mind. I need a trophy, though. If we win a Super Bowl, all these antics that go on this time of year every year, I don't care.
Hey, Ronbo. 420. You hear me? 420.
What?
I want you to remember that number, okay?
What's the number?
420.
420.
420. 420. Okay? Ronbo, I solely believe we made that pick because I somehow think our upper management listened to a lot of podcasts, and I didn't hear anything about Trey Lance until I heard it on your show and another show, and now then we just went Trey Lance crazy.
BM, you're fading in and out.
It's the reason.
Can you adjust something?
Do this.
Okay.
This.
Right.
What about now?
Oh, that's perfect. And you know what? I got to agree with you. I didn't know anything about Trey Lance until people told me about him either. I don't watch college ball. Do you watch college ball, OBHam? I thought you did.
I watch college ball, and I didn't know anything about him. Nothing at all.
That's right. You're a Bama fan. Trey's Division II. Do you watch them?
The problem I have with everything is this, Ronbo. You know, there's a lot of people saying it was Trey from the beginning. Ronbo, think about this. I keep saying 420 for a reason. The kid has thrown 420 passes since the year 2018. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I saw. There's a poster up like that says how many passes he's thrown.
And you got to think, Ronbo, this is the NFL. Well, you got to come here ready. What are we talking about development for if you are the number 3 pick?
See, that's why people are mad at the 49ers. You know it? That's B-Ham.
Why are we?
Try to understand it and explain it, because all of us want to know.
It's nothing to explain. It can't be explained. I think that they just wanted to satisfy the fans
a lot of fans was calling Trey Lance's name. A lot of fans in the Western area was calling Trey Lance name. I told you to begin with. Hey, I looked up this kid tape. He don't do nothing but run the ball. I don't want a running quarterback. I said that. If anything, we should have wasted our pick on Justin Fields.
Yeah, see, I heard that name a lot too. I didn't know about him either, but I heard his name every bit as much, and maybe a little more so than I heard Trey's.
Was when they found out he had epilepsy.
Yes,
Trey Lance
indeed.
became a hot favorite then. But other than that, Ronbo, I don't see why. I don't see. I mean, the tape speaks for itself. It's not. That's not a hard thing. This dude has only thrown. He has not been. I mean, man, it's so much we can go on. But listen, a lot of people is mad. The only people that's mad is the people that really wanted to see him. You feel me? At the end of the day, I told you last year, Ronbo, when he had that game against the Texans, the final preseason game, who he was out there with, Ronbo, the ones, right? Because everybody all night long has been saying he hasn't got a fair chance. So last year, when we played the Houston Texans, he was out there with the ones. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
He looked like shit. I told you that. Right after the game. I said, hey, I'm hoping that we just didn't scheme for this game because Lovie Smith didn't do anything and Trey Lance didn't look good. Then the first game, we were
that game
out
was
here talking about a month ago.
That was a regular season game, by the way.
No. That was I'm talking about preseason last year. The last preseason game was the Houston Texans.
Yeah, but we ended up having to play them, and that was Trey out there. But anyway, BM, I want to ask you this before we lose time, though. There's another theory that the 49ers traded up in that number 3 spot trying to entice the Green Bay Packers for Aaron Rodgers. I have a feeling that's going to grow some legs in the months ahead.
I don't see where it could be possible with the cap situation. We would have had to pay him too much. You feel me? It's too much money.
Especially when that goes against what the grain of what they want to do. So, yeah. But that rumor does make me laugh.
At the end of this year right here, if I'm not wrong, Rumbo, I think we got like 31 players we got to sign.
Ooh,
feel me?
Every year. Well, they're not. They got their A-list. They'll pay the A-listers, and the rest of the guys are going to walk. But who is going to be in that walk group? Behan, we got to go. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to see you tomorrow.
I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. All right.
Yes, indeed. Same here, BM. Always looking forward to talking to you. All right, fam.
All right, homie. Be safe.
Be careful out there. All right. See you tomorrow.
Will do.
Big Ham and his big rig. Hey, huh? Oh. Hey, old Jacko.
Shenanigans. Kyle Shenanigans.
Yeah.
All the shenanigans, Rambo. Every year, Rambo. Yeah, shenanigans, man.
And there's going to be more. They're not done yet. If this Nick Bosa thing keeps on cooking, it's going to boil over. But go ahead.
Rambo, the Bosa thing is going to get handled. I think they're going to handle that. But
tonight? Can I get you the promise tonight, please? I'm tired of it.
Oh, man. It's probably going to be after that game tomorrow or sometime this weekend. Probably be over with. But it's a lot of shenanigans, man.
Damn.
Yeah, you got to get ready for the season. The only thing I don't worry about Bosa is he gonna come in camp ready. He come in training camp ready. The only thing is,
he ain't hit nobody though. In his whole time.
He ain't hit nobody, and I'm afraid of a hamstring or ankle injury. Because
he'll be on the pitch
due for it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shenanigans, Rambo. I mean, how many years have it been? It's been 7 years of pre-season or before the season starts, shenanigans, man.
And our stuff's always out in the street. Man. You notice that, Jacko? I looked around, and I just wanted to look around. I looked around the Rams. The last thing anybody reported out of the Rams camp was August the 3rd. I looked around at the Cowboys. Cowboys don't tell nobody nothing. I mean, our stuff is always out there for everybody to look at and talk about, you know? So I see how many
Well,
49ers, man.
necessarily, they do a good job of keeping stuff in-house, but it's just
But nobody has
every
beat
year
writers or anything like that writing
it's
up on them.
shenanigans, man. 49ers are really America's team. It ain't them cowgirls, you know what I
Thank
mean?
you. For the record, that's
it's
true.
really, yeah, it's a high-profile
Shut up, Rudy.
organization.
I know Rudy's
so,
talking.
When you come here for coaching, it's the spotlight's on you. You know what I mean? This is the place you want to be. So much history, place you want to be. But it's
legacy.
Rambo. With the Trey Lance situation, Rambo. I just think we all know that Kyle on his interview before, after he picked Trey Lance third, he said that he called up Lynch and told him, "This is the guy I wanted, Rambo.
Yep.
This is the guy I wanted." He handpicked him himself. I don't know if he just was not looking at his mechanics or he just wanted this guy. Another
I remember
thing,
that.
Kyle is not a teacher. He don't teach quarterbacks. He's not even a coach necessarily. If you handpick your own guy, you would think that you would, train him and teach him the way how you want him to be. Like where did all that go?
Well, Jack, you bring up a point there. That's why Trey, his aptitude, his intelligence level is really high. I think Kyle looked at that and also felt like I can make him this is going to be my dude. People will say, yeah, Kyle trained him. Just like Andy Reid can say, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, possibly Patrick Mahomes, he built Patrick Mahomes. Kyle wants that.
Yeah, well, Kyle needs to win a Super Bowl because this team right
And
here
get
is
a
so
quarterback,
loaded. You ought to be on a hot. You should be. Most teams would fire you with a team like this. And this don't go out no hard field. I don't blame this on Purdy or Donald. They're just two guys. Battling for a job. But if I was Kyle, I would at least gave him the backup quarterback spot because that's his guy he picked.
I know, right?
He's
only
and
20,
you don't really lose your.
Look, what did you do to his mind?
Yeah, he's younger than Purdy, and you really the word is or the thing is said that you don't lose your job to injury. Even though I would give the nods to Purdy the way how he balled out last year, but the worst you can do is make him the second backup
and keep his hopes alive. We'll run a competition next year, and let's
and you develop him some more. If you gotta let him sit behind Purdy another year or whenever you feel like he's gonna be ready, he should show it he should see signs that he's ready. You know what I mean? But you don't put him at
number 3,
third quarter. Like, come on, man. But then again, I was having a conversation with my neighbor. He was saying that if he put Trey second and Purdy struggles, everybody be calling for Trey.
Yeah.
You know
what?
So,
honestly, they had to be honest about it. They did.
Yeah. But Kyle should at least come out and say something about his decision because his press conference last time, he said that he wasn't quite sure. I don't even know why would he even make that call before the last preseason game any damn way.
And he didn't mean for it to get out either. But you know what? How are you going to do? You're not going to tell us until week 1, as he predicted he was going to do. And we find out before that, now you look like a damn lie. That's what Kyle's got to stop doing. All of them have to stop doing. Stop getting caught up in these lies. It looks bad.
Plus, he got to deliver a ring, Rambo. That's just. And then I'm for the team. I'm a faithful at the end of the day. I'm blue and I'm red and gold all day. But what I'm saying is, he got to deliver this ring, Rambo.
Hopefully
After
it's,
all the shenanigans he's doing, he got to deliver a ring this year. It can't be next year. I mean, if he didn't move up and move up and pick Trey at number 3. Look at all them first round draft pick and handful of dudes we could have got out of there, man.
that's a whole other
You
show
could have
right
helped.
there.
You could have helped
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hell, you could even help Purdy
Yeah.
last year. But it's just mismanagement. You know what I mean?
Jacko, we got to stop.
But
I'm getting really
it's
a lot
all
of heat.
good, Rambo.
But let me see
but-
tomorrow, and
Yes, sir.
and let's see what Trey looks like out there. Everybody's really
but
watching.
I'm for the team, Rambo. Best guy for the. I'm for the team anywhere it goes, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a little
faithful,
sympathy
y'all
for Trey
have a good
tonight.
night.
Yes, indeed. All right, fam.
All right.
See you tomorrow. Hey, yo, Ellis.
Ron Bizzle.
Yeah.
What's happening?
You know, I was gonna. I don't know why I thought I could get away with trying to run a post game preview. I knew this was gonna be the subject, but just in case somebody doesn't feel like talking about the Trey and Darnold situation, I left it there. But just you go ahead, though. You just whatever you want to do, because you know how to do. What are you thinking?
Man, it's a dirty game, man.
Proven that a few times. Yeah.
It's a dirty game. And, Trey's going to ball out, man, in the NFL. So I guess Kyle just he's going to have to continue to keep finding out the hard way. He got lucky with Brock.
I mean, unbelievably lucky.
But he's gonna. He still got. He still got that. I mean, yeah, the lying and the deceptive shit. We definitely don't respect that. Kyle's been giving us bullshit for years. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised, but it's just kind of like. Stand on your word, as a man, just, he's honest and shit like that, but he still is, he tries to manipulate and kind of be deceptive and stuff. And so, Trey taking off, them giving Trey the day off was clearly because they knew Trey was going to be extremely upset and he probably would not have had a productive practice. And I mean that the mental blow that probably was for him was
a little much at that moment. Was he out there today?
Yeah,
he did come out today. Huh?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to hear anything. He was supposed to be back today, from what I understood, but
go through the walkthrough.
I don't know. I have to look and see how he did.
I just wonder how you'd feel.
Yeah.
How would you feel though? Coach calls me and says it's over. Sam Darnold's going to be the backup.
I'd be heated.
And I'm 3.
I'd be heated.
Yeah.
I would be heated. My first opportunity going out for quarterback, I got the starting position, so I never had that.
Through that.
I mean, I beat out upperclassmen and shit for the position, even in years after that. But in this case, with this situation, with the favoritism that it looks like Kyle already kind of has going on, he's got his ideal guys, and he feels more confident in Sam. This is the thing. When all this shit, when the paint dries, we're gonna see what Kyle's decision really earns him. If he doesn't pull one out this year, if he doesn't get a Super Bowl this year, all that getting Sam Darnold and all this other shit was for absolutely nothing. He better just hope that we can keep our quarterback healthy in Brock for the season, because when Sam comes in, he might do okay for a little while, but I think that the Sam who throws 50-something interceptions and has a total of 90 turnovers in 5 years, 90-plus turnovers in 5 years of NFL is going to start to come out.
Provided he plays.
You don't just completely if you are a turnover machine in that capacity and on that level, that shit just doesn't disappear and vanish. So we're going to see some turnovers.
But Peyton Manning started off like that. It has a lot to do
as a rookie,
quarterback.
Right?
It has a lot to do with the scheme. Do you fit it or not? And I think maybe, possibly, Darnold might have been a victim of that. Ellis, you faded out.
I don't know who the hell that was. Somebody.
Oh, that was
somebody else.
That was your phone. Okay. All right, go ahead, Ellis. Before the clock runs out.
I don't know, man. I'm not happy. And some people are, That's the difference.
I don't know why they'd be happy. We haven't done anything yet. We haven't won any games. We don't know what we got here, how we look. Nick Bosa hasn't signed. There's a lot of reasons to be a little bothered right now. No, anxiety is setting in. That's why I'm jumping up and down, trying to cool it down. Offensive line is.
Well, Trey's gonna.
Can't get.
Trey's gonna be. Trey's gonna do well, man, and he might not get that opportunity to showcase that here. I mean, it is unfortunate he had those injuries. It's like, he had the opportunity. He was given the keys. And, I mean, you can't, football is 100% guaranteed injury prone sport. It's going to happen.
Yep.
So if he could have not gotten a season-ending injury, we would have been able to get more, and there would have been more opportunities out there for him. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be like this because he's shown some great skill and some great ability. There was some things that he needed to improve on, but in the offense that he was running at North Dakota State, man, I mean, the plays look a lot similar to. It was a pro-style offense. I mean, there was a lot of passing, and there was a mixture of running. I mean, he had like 42 touchdowns and almost it was like 4,000 plus yards and shit of offense and no interceptions.
No INTs. Yeah, which that still freaks me out.
That type of shit doesn't happen. So I'm just saying, regardless of whatever the division is, you don't just do that. I don't give a shit if you're playing. I mean, it's not like they were playing against high schoolers and he's in college. It was college. It was each team was in college, so it's like you're playing along the same level of your guys in your division. But Trey's gonna be all right, man. I told you so's and all that other shit. Nobody want to hear none of that shit. Cause
I know.
Anybody talking all that was just never in support of Trey to begin with. So just fucking say that. Don't say that you was right. Just say you didn't like Trey and you're standing on that. Say that shit. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear all the other fluff.
Well,
but we're gonna be all right though, man.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing him ball out tomorrow. Maybe he'll raise his stock and shit, and then he can go somewhere maybe where it's more fitting for him, where there's more trust and there's more support, because he definitely deserves that. He don't deserve this kind of shit that he's getting over here, honestly.
All right.
I think it's tainted. Tainted the relationship.
Possibly, but Trey's such a nice guy. I don't know how they could do anything but like him. But anyway, fam, I tell you what, I'm gonna be back tomorrow looking for you, Ellis. As per usual after the game, we were saying things like, well, Trey, if he's gonna go out, he's gonna go out in a blaze of glory. All right, fam.
Yeah, ball out, man. Balls to the, don't hold nothing back.
Gotta keep his attitude up. Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Evan, man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Shout out to Evan. Shout out to all the Tonys. Shout out to Papa Drizzle, Papa Dragon, and the Dragon family. You know what I'm saying? All
exactly.
The Nine Faithful. Much love to all y'all, man. Hit that like, subscribe. You know where you at. And Jim Neverett. You should find a new name. That history of that name in itself.
Yeah. Why would he call himself? Why would anybody call himself that? It's the biggest. Anyway, fam, I'll see you tomorrow. All right.
He's actually the main event Ronbo at the circus. I think I'm buying some tickets and we're gonna go check him out. So let me know if you're free.
All right.
This weekend we'll go hit it up. All right.
Bye, Alice.
Peace.
Hey, Bethel.
Hey, what's up, Romo?
Bethel, man, we had the news yesterday, and I decided, you know what, I'll wait till the day. Bethel, that's your boy JJ, and
I know.
I said I'll wait till tomorrow because people are all pissed off, and that's what it's all going to be about. You know what? People are still pissed off. So, you know what? We got a game tomorrow, and we always come in before the game. Bethel, anything you want to touch upon regarding the game, any players you want to see? Also, if you got anything you want to say about the situation going on with quarterback 2, that's fine as well. Whatever you want to do. Go right ahead.
I think a best way to say it is that basically Kyle, got Trey for a reason. He got him because he only had a little bit of starts. He wanted to mold them the way he wanted to, and he was sending them to different hits, coaching quarterback coaches
in the beginning. I remember that.
Yeah, in the beginning, and then he gave up on them probably when Trey went to his own quarterback coach.
Because
now he's seen that he can mold them the way he wanted to no more.
Yeah. I think last year they gave up on him after he got hurt, though. Because now they said, damn, that's 2 years. He's not going to be able to learn. So instead of just telling him, listen, we got a problem, we're going to try to move you now, we're going to sit here and hang around and wait for you to heal up. And then we're going to embarrass you a few minutes later by saying you're quarterback 3. We just signed Sam Darnold. Why? Well, we just, why? Okay, go ahead. Let me stop.
I had a feeling that might happen just because of what happened when they kept Sam Darnold in the game, instead of putting Trey Lance in there.
They want to get a good look.
And, they want to get a good look, see if he could, run, some plays with him. But the thing is that, I was hearing that a lot of people about Trey, that, Trey was, he did that against third ringers. But if you see our whole line, offensive line, was third back ringers. If he did that with third, yes. Imagine if we were playing with the number 1, what he could have done.
Yeah.
It's just that Kyle doesn't want to see it. He's kind of blind.
Yeah, well, I really wish I knew what Kyle's really thinking. I'd love to have a talk and get an honest answer from all of them. Guys, what do you really think about Trey? Are you sorry that you got him now? Is he a victim of circumstances due to the injuries? Did you not see enough in practice? What made you flip suddenly like that? And they did.
Yeah.
Because rumor is they were trying to trade Trey back in February. So that means they really had given up on him. And you're signing Darnold right around the same time, right? So they could have gotten rid of Trey and got Darnold, but nobody's going to pick up that ticket on Trey. He gets paid too much money, and we don't know how well he's going to play. So he would be a 49er for the rest of this year. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and I think I heard if they do trade him, that they want a player and some picks.
Oh, that's not going to happen. That's why Why would I do that, Bethel?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to happen. The 49ers aren't being realistic about that. No. So they'd rather keep him in.
The same thing that what happened to Jimmy is going to happen with Trey.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing. So I go, you don't learn from your first mistakes.
And trying to get more than a player's worth, you're never going to get that. So he's going to end up walking. They're going to keep him this year, and then have to make next year. They got to make a decision on whether to pick up his 5th-year option or not. How bad will that be if Brock Purdy really looks solid this year and stays on the field all year? And Darnold, who they do like, they're going to offer him another contract next year. Well, the writing's now clear who they want.
If they could find a better backup, they'll probably find it because Sam Darnold is not the answer. I'd rather have Trey as a backup than have Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
At
everybody
least
says
Trey, he gets better as the game progresses.
That's true too. Actually,
You know,
he starts out
and
shaky and he gets better and better.
yeah. And Sam Darnold, you don't know what you're getting with him.
Well,
so
the only reason I always push back on that, Sam Darnold's been with some teams that had a bunch of jerks as far as coaches. So and no offensive line on the Jets. He got creamed. So that's why I'm saying, if he's seeing ghosts, he's justified in seeing them. Sam Darnold's taking some hits. You know what? They say that some of those hits are like being hit by a car. Can you imagine? You've been hit. Have you had a car accident before, Bethel?
Nah.
It's really, when you're sitting in the car and all you hear is that, bam! And you get jerked. And, you suddenly wonder, am I still here? So if Darnold's been hit as many times as they say, I can understand his fears. So, I don't know. I kind of sympathize with him to a small degree.
Yeah, there's a funny part that I was actually at work and my co-worker that's a Rams fans are like, hey, we're gonna get Trey Lance and he's gonna come to a real team and we're gonna give you a 7th-round pick for him.
Listen, I wish Rams. Oh, Rams fans got a nerve. Bethel, listen, do this for me, Nibble. Next time you talk to him, since I can't be there, tell him, listen, if we didn't play the Cowboys and the Packers, you would not have that one lone rain after 60 years even to talk about. So you need to back up and back off. Because, God, they're weird. Man. But I'd be glad they didn't play us in the first round. Sick of them.
Yeah, they did. So that's all I want to say. Hopefully, we do good tomorrow, and let's go Niners. And hit the like.
Thanks, Bethel.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right, good night, everyone.
All right, good night.
All right.
Hey, Mark. Mark.
What's up?
Mark, come on in, man. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah,
hey, Ronbo, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna
right.
keep it short and sweet.
All
Real quick.
All right.
The 49ers are going to beat the Chargers because I know nobody talked about the game yet. 49ers will beat the Chargers convincingly. Everybody, all the quarterbacks are going to have a good game. The thing about the quarterbacks is just experience. That's all. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Trey never got the experience. It's like applying for a job. They're probably like, okay, you got to have this, and this amount of years of college experience under your belt. And Trey never really had that. Brock was almost overqualified for the job. And we'll just leave it at that. Not too mad about the quarterback situation. 2021, I kind of see the writing on the wall about, the fans were all like, oh, they were bringing him in like he was the second coming of Moses. And I kind of seen the writing on the wall for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
And I think, we'll just leave it at that. And Ronbo, Ronbo, I know you got a lot of fans in here, that's been here for a while. Ronbo, I worked overnight for a couple months, and for those past couple months, what I'll do is I'll listen to previous podcasts.
Oh, you
probably from 2021. Yeah, from 2021 from on down. Yeah. Ronbo, in all my times of watching these podcasts, I've never heard Tifo say a positive thing. And by the way, Ronbo, you don't have to agree with his what he says, because some of the stuff he says doesn't make sense. And granted, he does know football, and sometimes I do agree with some of the stuff he says, but he's probably the only fan that doesn't agree that we had a quarterback in the NFC Championship game that we wouldn't have won. Of all the games that we played previously, playoff games, playoff games, Seahawks, Cowboys, hell, even the regular season game with the Buccaneers, Dolphins, I've seen a system of him saying, he doesn't say good things about us. He kind of puts up the other team and, oh, they got this guy, and oh, they got this guy, and oh, they got this guy. We end up beating him up. And then he comes in. He's like one of those guys that that he keep proving him wrong, and he just keeps still talking down from Jimmy Garoppolo from till now. So that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, well, yeah, that's yeah. Who are you talking about though, Mark?
Oh, T-Flow. You know this, Ronbo. You know this.
Oh, T-Flow. T-Flow. Yeah, I know. T-Flow gets wound up and he really starts to build momentum when he does that. I know. Yeah, T-Flow and I love T-Flow. We rarely agree.
Yeah, I do too.
But I do like.
Yeah.
Yeah. T-Flow and Allie.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I love them both. You know, I can't wait till they come back. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much it, Ronbo. And another question, Ronbo. Do you know? Tony Wright. You know,
Of course.
Ronbo,
Everybody
I
knows
went on
Tony.
YouTube the other day and watched that Rams video. Ronbo, I couldn't stop laughing. My sister had to hold me up from laughing. I was laughing so much. That pick six. That what's his name threw?
Stetson Bennett.
And yeah, high step into the end zone and all. And
Yeah.
it was just hilarious. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
see,
I had to
that's-
save it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna clip it up tomorrow.
There's plenty of those. You'll get another one. You know, the Rams are what you call a legend in their own fans' minds. Okay, the Rams got lucky. As I said, we had to play 2 more games before they played the Rams. The Rams played us first or second. The Rams would never have that moment. And I don't care what they say,
That's
they
what I
were
was
not
thinking.
a better team.
Yep.
And the 49ers came in tired and injured, and they finally got past us by 3 lousy points. And they're talking like, oh, we're the greatest team in the NFC West. You guys are an embarrassment to the NFC West. Yet they lost to Tom Brady, and they scored how many points? 3, 6, something like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, about
And-
3
yeah.
points. 3 points.
And they shouldn't have got in there in the first place because that interference call against the Saints, that was not their Super Bowl to attend. And then they finally get to the Super Bowl
Shouldn't have
now.
been there.
And we did you guys a favor. You guys wouldn't have beat the Browns. We played the Browns earlier that season when they weren't injured. We won. Why don't you guys look things up before you start talking that stupid, ignorant, don't know what you're talking about stuff? Rams, you guys really, I can't wait to play.
Yeah,
We played the Rams this year.
Yeah,
It was just total annihilation. God.
Yeah. And Ronbo, I don't hate none of my Ronbo. I'm a 49er fan. I will never hate any of my players. I will never talk down on any of our players just to make another one look good. All the quarterbacks have potential to be, I feel like, starters with this team. And Kyle made the decision, and we're just going to have to roll with the decision. I'm not mad at the decision because it's experience. So anyway, who are you looking at tomorrow?
I'm looking at Ty, the receiver that's been doing good things. All of a sudden, you got a Ronnie Bell show is probably going to be on. The 49ers aren't going to leave him out there long. Ronnie Bell will be treated like a first stringer tomorrow. Watch. He'll be out there in the first quarter, and from that point on, he will sit down and stay out of harm's way.
Yeah.
But there's about 4 other guys. There's a couple other receivers I want to see. And,
Rob,
so it should be fun.
I'm looking at Ambry Thomas.
Oh,
Thank
you. Thank you. I forgot. Ambry won't be out there long either because he's looking good, and they want to keep him safe too. God, who are you going to see out there tomorrow? Because they're going to pull any potential guys that made the team. They will not be playing that whole game. Maybe for a few minutes in the first quarter, but that's it.
All right, Ronbo, I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll talk to you about the quarterback situation as far as nickel and all that stuff goes.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it, fam.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, Mike. Have a great night. Hey, yo, JJ. JJ, that big Mig. JJ.
What do you want, Ronbo? Why are you
JJ,
calling me?
we want your spin on the madness that's going on right now. And JJ, you and I and,
no, you don't,
about
Ronbo.
several others, we are veterans of this madness each and every year. And JJ, you know what I love about you? You've always taken this in a light where you brought a humorous edge to all our madness. And every now and then you go ahead and tell people how you feel about what they're thinking. I always love that about you, and still make it into a comedy skit. You and Casey, there's a parallel between your takes. I mean, you two guys I'm telling you. And then the Big Show is the anti of everything. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys the truth right now. He was awful. He sucked.
Well, Ronbo,
and I told you that a long
I
time
gotta be
ago. Show! Go ahead, JJ.
Piggyback and all that stuff. But, Ronbo, man, I haven't heard this much crying in my life. And you know I have twins. Hey, this is straight rant mode, Ronbo. Like, all it has been complaining all night. One question I have to the fake fool. Do you guys really want to win, or do you want to experiment? I mean, y'all bitch about Kyle not giving Trey a chance. Trey comes in week 1 and year 1 and week 5 and looks like complete dog shit. Then week 16, which you would think he would have the playbook down by then, still looks like dog shit. Then Kyle makes him QB1 in 2022, and you want to say he hasn't given any chance, okay? And then Kyle drops a bombshell about a week or two before the season starts that Jimmy is going to stay on the team. Why do you all think this is? You guys, we keep saying that we've only seen 4 games from Trey, yet Kyle sees him every day. At what point do you think the light bulb went off in his head and say, hey, we made a mistake. This kid doesn't have it. Now, I'm going to say this, Rama, because there is a possibility that Trey could be the next Mahomes. Yes, it's possible. But you all can't rule out the fact that he could be the next Tim Couch, too. He could be the next Nick Mullins. That is a possibility, too. Okay, so then the season starts, and Trey plays the Bears and looks like complete dog shit. Now, don't give me the shit about the monsoon, because we played Justin Fields, and he beat the shit out of us in the same weather. Okay, I don't remember the call that called in earlier, but he made all the sense in the world, because I said it before on a past show, Rumble. There is literally a 3-hour video on YouTube of every single snap of Trey Lance in college, and almost a huge majority of it is him running. And what happened week 2? He runs the ball and breaks his leg. And y'all blame Kyle for calling a play that highlights what y'all wanted, a mobile quarterback. And then there's now. Last year, again, he had all the first-team reps against the top defense. That was us. Weren't we like top 3?
Yes. Definitely no longer than 4. Yeah.
And I hate dogging him because he is a 49er, but we heard absolute zip from the defense about him shredding it. Nothing. Yet, whereas the leader of the defense, which is in Fred Warner, won't shut up about Purdy and Jimmy. Always saying, yeah, Warner was saying it. He said it. He's not surprised with Purdy. He's been shredding us up all year long. And then last week, Trey comes in against the 2s and looks terrible. And people complain because all Kyle did was draw up nothing but pass plays. And then you guys are saying, why is he doing all these pass plays? He's a running quarterback. Yet when he runs, he gets hurt, and you guys blame Kyle for that.
So you're saying damned if he does and damned if you don't. Yeah.
Exactly, Roma, and I know you know this. I mean, and this is not anything new. But again, like I said last week, what I saw from Trey last week, I finally saw what I wanted to see from Trey. He was hitting people in stride. He was hitting certain spots. But again, if it was Jimmy, or even if it was Purdy or Darnold, the excuses will come out, well, he's playing the third-team reps. You know what I'm saying? It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it's no matter what happens, Ronbo, nobody is going to be happy.
Well, put it this way, not everybody's going to be happy. Yeah. Well,
hold up, wait a minute.
No, Trez, don't, Trez. Get off, Trez, get off my call, dude. No, Trez. Trez, I was going to call you out on this too, Trez. I don't want to hear it. Wait your turn, bro.
No, sir.
Wait your turn, bro. Wait your turn, bro. Wait your turn, bro.
Trez, wait. Let him finish it. You can stay here.
Wait your turn, Trez. Trez. Wait your turn, Trez.
He's sitting here lying.
Trez.
No, we're not
my
going
line.
with that.
Trez,
you're lying.
get off my car, bro.
Ronbo, he's lying. You know
car,
he's lying. Sitting up here spilling all these fucking lies. This kid hadn't been given an opportunity here, and he's lying.
What did I say? What did I say that was? What did I say that was false?
Turn, okay.
Name one thing that I said that was false. Go ahead. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
You said Trey Lance was given a fair opportunity. All you're saying from Trey Lance, you said he's been given a fair opportunity. All you're saying from Trey Lance was dog shit. You got to be kidding me, man. Are you kidding me? So you trying to tell me the plays for Trey Lance were the same as the plays for Jimmy G and any other quarterback that we had in the system?
Well, Trey, okay,
so
Trey,
you telling me? So you telling me that this grown man sit in this kid's face and wasted 3 years of his career, shit in his face and lied to him and told him that he believed in him, and he just shitted on him. Man, get out of here with that shit, man.
That is the biggest cop-out I've ever heard. You mean You mean to tell me that Kyle wasted 3 picks on a player he has full-on faith in just to tell him, I don't have faith in you? Come on, get out of here with this bullshit, with this cop-out, dude. Seriously. That's just stupid. Again, the dude's right, and I have room to say this because I have wasted $300 on this dude's jersey. Okay, so I had faith in Trey. It's gone. It's gone. Okay, so, I mean, again, Rob, yeah, the humor was there before, but this fan base has completely ruined it. I can't even blame Show. I really don't think he hates Trey as a person, but this fan base has really made him, like, just get out of here. This is what you guys did to Jimmy. You're doing it to Trey now. And it's sad because we expect so much from a quarterback. Because not everybody's going to be Steve Young. Not everybody's going to be Montana. It's like, what do you guys expect? It's either it's a Super Bowl or bust. That doesn't happen every day.
Not in the modern NFL. No, it is tough. When's the last time we had a repeat?
Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. These are the greatest ever, and they have 1 ring. They can't get back to save their life.
And Matthew Stafford. As much as the Rams like to brag about Stafford, it took him, 15, 16 years to get a ring? And he got lucky.
And it was a fluke.
That they didn't play. Yeah. I mean, if we beat them how many times? You know what? They got away once. Yeah, regular season champs. You know what? You guys did that. Oh, the Rams are the most annoying, unbelievably delusional group to think that they were actually the better team. Well, they were
I ain't worried about the Rams, Robert. But Ronbo, I'm gonna say this again. It's like,
but it's tough getting back to the Super Bowl.
Trey had his chance. Again, this is his year where he came back. I'm not dogging Trey on a specific spot where I'm going to say this, though. He had his chance to take back his spot, and he failed. What more do you want? If he is better than Darnold, why didn't he beat him? If he's better than Purdy, why didn't he beat him?
Well, it's a question that has to be asked.
Not even
for sure. So, and also, as Jalen says, you had to take Jimmy G out. During that first year they came in, it was. Well, Kyle did say there was not a competition going on anyway. He wasn't recognized.
They didn't even give him.
But
they didn't give him the playbook, Rombo.
Yeah.
They had Jimmy literally behind the bleachers like a little high school kid.
Hiding him in the back. I know. That's pretty funny. Getting his arm.
Trey has his chance, and he failed. Call it for what it is. He could be again great, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see what happens to him going forward because he's going to be with us anyway. JJ, great call. I mean, let's see.
Nah, it wasn't great, Raul.
No, the thing is, because you and Trez, it was even up. But we got to go. I'm getting all kind of noise from production. Let me see you tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, the delusion is real, Ron. But that's all I got to say.
And I have to.
Believe me. I just want to win, Rumble. And if Trey looks awesome tomorrow. If he looks awesome tomorrow, great. Good job, Trey.
All right.
I want him to look good, but he's just not.
We got to go, JJ. Please, okay?
Go ahead, bud.
All right, Bill. Yo,
Later,
Monk. All right.
Whoa.
Come on in, Monk.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Monk, I haven't seen your name on the board for a long time. Monk, how you doing?
Well, first of all, I told you a while back, I'm from Jersey.
Yeah.
And I have to wait a while before I get back, before I get on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, East Coast that well.
Yeah. But listen, before I say what I got to say, I just want you to know, I always hear everything out. I damn near fall asleep to the show, all right?
Yeah.
All right? The other thing is, I always watch every game with you because I want your touchdown celebration.
Well, thanks, Monk. I love celebrating them touchdowns.
Yeah, so what I do is I watch every game, right? And I fucking wait for your touchdown celebration. And I show everybody in Jersey or whoever's around me, I go to look.
Monk? Oh, no, we didn't lose connection, did we? Monk. Hey, Monk. I know, Josh, I'm trying to. We're trying to bring Monk back. Monk. Okay, well, hopefully we can get Monk back. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Thomas, come on in, man. First I thought it was Emilio. Are you at work?
No. Oh, yeah, can you hear the background noise?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try. If you want, you can get me on the next call.
Are you going to move from one spot to another?
I'll have a quieter space to talk in.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I'll find a quieter spot for you.
Well, let's do that then. All right.
Okay.
Be back. Okay. And let's go now to Trez out of Atlanta, G8. And Trez had a few things to say a few minutes ago and walked away. Trez, you sounded as if you were a little, for you to walk away from an argument, it must have been, are you still raging? Are you okay?
No, Rumbo. I wanted to give him his time. He was complaining about his call and his time. It was. I just said what I had to say real quickly, you know.
It was.
And I left it at that, you know.
Yes.
It was his time. So, you know, JJ, it was your time. You know what I'm saying? I hate to cut it in, bro, but you're wrong, man. You're wrong, bro.
Point it
You're
out.
wrong. Here's the thing, Rumbo. All the beat writers that have covered the 49ers thus far this year, every last one of them, say Trey Lance, has beaten out Sam Darnold. So that's proof right there. So where do everybody get this? He didn't beat out Sam Darnold for the second position. Here's a lie, Ronbo.
Before you go on, though, I just want to know, from where you sat, did it appear that Trey outplayed Sam Darnold?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Sam is Sam. Sam Darnold sees ghosts on the field, Ronbo. Don't forget that. Don't let that rear its ugly head sometime this season. Please don't.
Okay.
This man literally got in a press conference and said, I see ghosts out there on the field. Just like I'm seeing ghosts.
I did
That's
see that.
infamous. That is one of the sound bites that will never lead the NFL.
And I wish you wouldn't have said that exactly. So, well, go ahead.
So you telling me in a time frame of this kid being here, and a guy can walk in here and be here less than 4 months, and he automatically secures the second position at QB over a kid that was drafted to be the future. That's what you're telling me. We could point out. I've been saying get rid of Kyle Shanahan. This ain't nothing new.
Well, that's true. I'll testify on behalf of that. Yeah.
I've been telling you about Kyle Shanahan's shortcomings and his fault.
Trez got rid of Kyle 2 seasons back at least.
Right. Kyle Shanahan don't care about nothing but Kyle Shanahan and his narcissistic ways. That's all he cares about, Ronbo. Point blank, period. I mean, for me, these guys are millionaires. They're getting paid. It's here and there. But what I'm saying is, Ronbo, it gets personal. And I'm going to tell you why it gets personal. Because you have wasted 3 years of this kid's career. 3 years have gone by wasted, and you looked him in his face and you lied to him.
Okay,
Trez, you see what I'm saying?
I need more substance. So I need to know what did he do to waste 3 years of Trey's life? Of his career.
Okay. Well. Okay. Once you give up that kind of draft capital, this has been NFL history, and you turn the page on one quarterback. And the quarterback you go in the draft and get, he starts immediately. Don't sit. We had that big argument. Remember? We was all talking about should Trey play, should Trey sit? Yeah. And I said he should play. Everybody who's saying he should play. You have to if he was a project, you have to get the project off and running. He should have played. That's 1 year wasted. The very next year, okay, you said he has the keys to the Cadillac, right? Tell him, go out and take it for a spin. But you come out here and running him through the tackles? Do you run your quarterback through the tackles, Ronbo? No, you don't.
if you're gonna have specific run plays for your quarterback, you get him outside. You get him outside. You don't run between the tackles, and then he gets hurt. That's another year wasted, right? We come back this year. Okay, everybody's drinking a Purdy juice. Okay, everybody believes Purdy is the real deal. And how could you sit up there and believe a man that's only seen a guy play 7 games, sample size, coming off an injury himself? The unknown is just as same as him as it is for Trey. You don't know where Brock Purdy gonna be this year, but he's the real deal. This guy can't evaluate how to even tie his shoes right, and you believe this?
Okay, Trez.
So another year,
Trez, I have one question.
He's gone.
Just one question on that because we only got a minute left now. Trez, given the sample size, if both quarterbacks are in audition mode, and I think that's what they were, you got even coming into the last year, you got Brock who went those 7 games that you mentioned, and how did you think he looked? Did he look okay to you?
Oh, Brock?
His performance, yeah.
Yeah, he looked efficient. He looked very efficient in the offense.
That's what I'm saying. If both quarterbacks are pretty much almost in the same shoe, because Trez hadn't established himself fully yet as a league star. So now, if you look at both sample sizes for that length of games, which one do you go with?
Well, here's the thing for me, Ronbo. Here's the thing for me. We've seen this play out in the NFL over and over and over. Unknown quarterback comes in, gets hot, takes the team on a run, following year, turns to dog shit. We've seen Colin Kaepernick come in, light it up, start to regress. Year 2. We've seen other quarterbacks do these
on those same examples,
things.
though, Alex Smith got excused.
Alex Smith got opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity.
No, I mean, but after Cap came in, that was it for Alex, as we knew.
That was it. You turned the page. That's what I was saying.
Well, so I'm saying.
Turned the page.
So that's what I'm thinking.
So Trey never got his. Trey has never got his. Trey didn't even get to play with the ones not one time this season so far. Not one time. Not one. Can you explain that, buddy?
You might have him practice though. It's a tough call.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't practiced with the ones. Period. Can you explain that? You know why? Because Kyle lied. Kyle told Sam Darnold, "Hey, you're going to come in here. I'm going to give you the number 2 job." It was never a quarterback competition.
Trez, who was he playing with before? Brock wasn't allowed to play and work out in the workouts.
Look, and now, recently. It's just been he's only been playing. He was playing with the most he's played with is the 2s and the 3s.
Even Trez, even in the workouts. Trez, even in practice. Even in practice. CMC's been. Nobody's been playing with CMC.
Hold on, that's what Kruger. Hold on, that's what Kruger has said. That's what Cone has said. That's what everybody has said. Jack Ham, everybody who's been out there said Trey has not played with the ones.
But who's been playing with the ones then? In practice before?
I guess don't.
They were just.
I guess don't.
Because I don't.
Because I mean,
they still have to work out.
So. Yeah,
okay.
But I'm gonna go ahead and go. We'll talk about we'll take.
Okay, let's get it tomorrow. Okay.
We'll get everything. Yeah, we'll get everything correct here.
Right.
But you can go back and look. Trey has not been given a fair opportunity here, Ronbo.
Well.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. I agree with what a caller said earlier today on the San Francisco show. If this kid goes somewhere else, I hope he dots our ass up every time we take him. That's the one game I hope we lose. Trey Lance beat the shit out of us every time because guess what? Everybody's drinking this Kyle Shanahan bullshit. It is bullshit from Kyle Shanahan. You don't treat a player like that. You don't bring a kid in here. You don't sit in and lie in his face. You don't waste his career like this. You don't do that, man. And we lost all that draft capital behind this bullshit. They don't know what they're doing, Ronbo.
That's
I'm talking about from the quarterback evaluation part of it. They don't know what they are doing.
Well, Trez, let's get together. You know I love you, man. But let's talk tomorrow.
You
if you
too,
got time.
Ronbo. You know, look. Shout out TNT. Shout out JJ. Shout out to everybody who might disagree with my opinion. But like I say, man, you got to always put yourself in that person's shoes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Trey Lance, I want out of San Francisco.
And I think that's coming up too.
I ain't finna be third string quarterback.
Yeah,
Not finna be third string
that's
quarterback. I wanna
embarrassing.
get me out of here, bro. Get me out of here.
All right,
This guy looked me in my face and told me he believed in it. He shitted on me. All right, Ronbo, have a good one.
You too,
Shout out
Trez.
to Doug, shout out to you.
All right, fam. Appreciate you. Night, Trez. And Trez speaks for a lot of people. A lot of folks do feel that way. Jim Thurl Trey outplayed SD. Trey will be starting before season's end. With Kyle's history, he will ball out. I love you, Robo. Jim, thanks, fam. Appreciate that. And, that's already been made a prediction as well from, what's his name? Big Win. Week 6 is his prediction. Hey, Thomas, are you ready?
I am ready. How you doing, Ronbo?
Thomas, we're doing what we do as 49er fans. We go back and forth about the quarterback each and every year. And, Thomas.
Sounds like you're...
Yeah? Sounds like what?
It sounds like you're playing the role of everybody's therapist tonight.
Well, I like for people to come in and get it off their chest. If I could create an area where we could just come in and let it all out without interruption from Rams fans and other fans coming in talking trash, it would be an intimate thing. But, it is what it is. Thomas, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Well, first off, thank you, Trez, for the shout out for everybody that might disagree with you, because I'm one of those people. I really appreciated JJ's call because I agree with 90% of what he had to say.
Yeah.
There's too many people coming in here crying tonight, and it's a little annoying, a little ridiculous. Last time I called in was the other day, but it's gonna sound like I put not my foot in my mouth, but I feel a little bad for how harsh I was maybe. I flat out just told everybody, I've never been a huge Trey Lance fan ever since the day we drafted him, because I didn't feel the quarterback class was deep enough for us to give up those picks and move up to number 3 to get a quarterback that year.
I remember your call.
And at the time I was, I've had my ups and downs with Jimmy, but I wasn't ready to necessarily move on with him. So I wasn't too thrilled about bringing in a project quarterback. And to kind of touch on what Trez was saying, as far as, you got to get him out there because he's a project. And, I don't think that's necessarily a solution. Don't you think Patrick Mahomes appreciated sitting a year behind Alex Smith, and getting to learn Casey's offense and develop before he, just went out there? I'm sure he would have done just fine as a rookie, but I also think that year of development helped him, and he was leaps and bounds ahead of Trey Lance coming out of college.
Yep.
Don't you think Tom Brady appreciated sitting behind Drew Bledsoe before he got his opportunity? Those opportunities to learn behind the starter are extremely beneficial. You can't just throw somebody out there with as little experience as Trey Lance had, because the guy only played 1 year in college. And that was one of the reasons why I wasn't thrilled about it, because like I told you last call, we have a team that's championship caliber team that's ready to win now. And I don't want to experiment with the quarterback and hope he gets ready soon enough for us to start winning some games. I'm not ready to gamble like that. So I think, just throwing him out there in the fire is not always the answer. Developing him is, I think, a much safer route to go. And he's had that time to develop. He's had 3 seasons to develop. Stepped behind Jimmy the following year. He was given the nod, and he got hurt, unfortunately. And then in camp, supposedly, from what we're hearing, he was given the opportunity to compete for the second role this year, and he just got beat out. You can say fans can say what they want, like, oh, he wasn't. It's all lies. He wasn't given an opportunity, blah, 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 but we're not there, so we don't know. All right, let's not speculate and put words in the coach's mouths or anything like that. And then another thing, Trez, is you're quoting what beat writers are saying, and I don't give a damn what beat writers have to say because they're not coaches. I'm going to listen to the people who work with the kids every single day before I'm going to listen to a stupid beat writer. That's their job, is to make stories and report what they see, but they're not coaches. But, as far as what JJ was saying, I agree with a lot of what he had to say. The kid, comparing him to Purdy put 7 phenomenal games on tape that nobody expected. Trey put 4 awful games on tape, and he just wasn't ready. The only time he looked decent as a professional was last week And JJ, you're wrong. He wasn't going against Denver's 2s. He was going against Denver's 3s and 4s. So for a kid who was drafted in the first round that should have been the starting quarterback, I would hope he could beat the 3s and 4s. But that's the only time he's looked good as a professional. I also don't understand. It's like everybody's getting so upset about the backup quarterback position instead of being happy about, we can focus on who's starting. Like the starter is the one who's going to be winning or losing games for us. Why are we spending so much time crying about the backup?
Well, I can answer that though real quick, because the fact of the matter is, Trey has been the focal point of the headlines since he got here, and suddenly his role has shifted, and so everybody's following his role. But you know what? It is so right. Brock Purdy is the one that the headlines should have shifted toward by virtue of what took place last year. And if he doesn't get his elbow broken, it's my opinion, I still think the 49ers are going to beat the Eagles. I really do. Now, what would happen in the Super Bowl? I don't know. But I do know our defense was not allowing a lot of damage. If the 49ers would have scored against the suspect defense of the Kansas City Chiefs, that might have been it, Thomas. That's just me, though, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, from what I saw, I told you last call, from what I saw from Purdy, the kid looks like he's ready, and he's shown me, in that small sample size that that everything I need to see to feel comfortable going into the season. I don't care if his arm's 90%. If he can hit the throws, if his timing is there, if he's poised in the pocket like he's always been, he's got what it takes mentally. If he's ready to go and win games for us, it stays upright and healthy all season long. Of course, we want depth at every position, but why are we not focusing on the guy who was actually winning games for us? You guys are getting so emotionally invested in these draft picks. Like every first-round draft pick is supposed to be a stud. Every first-round draft pick is supposed to be a superstar. How many times did that not work out?
The percentages. And you know what I'd love to see, Thomas? I'd love to see a first-round pick choices. Actually, I want to see the calculations run through a system. I want to see what that computer spits out. I really do wonder how many first-round picks versus success versus non-success are there? And I would bet money the non-success, because all the draft is just throwing darts at a board and trying to hit a bullseye. Just a handful of darts, and we'll see what happens. It is.
Yeah.
So let's get upset about 3 first-round picks. No.
Yeah, for me, it's just we're just getting too emotionally invested in where he was drafted. And I don't agree with his time or his career was wasted. The kid got paid. He got to learn and develop. It just didn't pan out, and that shit happens, okay? Everybody was heartbroken when Buckner left, but I don't remember this many people crying. I'm sorry.
Position.
But Buckner was an established professional veteran for the team. Trey Lance hasn't established anything for this team, and everybody is so married to the idea that, oh my God, we're giving up on him. We're just throwing him in the trash. His career's not over, and we didn't waste his time.
Yeah,
he got
there's
paid.
a bottom line
he got
right
to
there.
develop. He will get another shot eventually.
And he just may become what everybody would love for him to be. You just don't know yet, but you should get upset. Yeah,
but just move on.
Exactly.
We got our starter. Move on.
There it is. Thomas, great call. Listen, we're gonna have to stop though. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk after the game. It's probably gonna be more heated then than it is today, even. But we're gonna see you tomorrow though. Okay.
All right, real quick, I got a couple shout-outs and a funny comparison. I don't like doing athlete comparisons, but I was just thinking about this the other day. You know who Ayuk and Debo remind me of?
Who?
Like a new era, Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitz.
Yeah, kind of. One big and brawny,
and
the other one being Grace.
And then we got our
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting. I don't know, but shout out to Casey. He's a hilarious caller.
Yeah,
Papa Dragon always brings good content, and all the Tonys. And I always say they're my favorite callers. But everybody needs to relax, stop all the crying.
Shout out to Big Show. All right, Thomas, let's get together tomorrow, man. I'll have a great night too.
All right, Ronbo, have a good night.
You too, fam. Yeah. Oh, Jeremy.
Well, how you doing? I hadn't talked to you in a while, and I figured I better give a call and give my opinion on that.
Well, you're right, Jeremy, and you know, good to hear from you. Go right ahead and let it loose.
Good to hear from you. All right, you know, we keep forgetting about Purdy. You know, he did something unheard of in 7 games. He was better than Mahomes his rookie year. And yet that's just all supposed to go aside, and we're supposed to give this Lance a big chance, and then our year not go to the Super Bowl? That's crazy. We go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Lance, but hey, we got a winning team, you know. Purdy did something that was unheard of. I mean, you know, he did better than Mahomes last year. Just, you know, I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, Jeremy, when's the last time we seen a kid come in halfway through a season and get all the way through the playoffs, and given for not an unbelievably unusual injury,
we would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, could been. Oh, he would have been. We would have lost him to Hollywood.
I mean, how he was playing, nobody could have hold him. I mean, he did actually better in them 7 games statistically than Mahomes or any other quarterback. And then he was a rookie, last draft pick.
I know.
I mean, that's crazy. That's unheard of.
I was shocked, but
we don't need to forget that, you know.
I mean, Dak Prescott, the Cowboys haven't forgotten.
Chance.
Who else did we play?
No, they hadn't forgot. Seattle hadn't forgot either.
Oh, yeah, Seattle. Yeah, you know, Purdy doesn't get any credit because nobody believes it, Jeremy. That's one of the things that's really standing out in my mind a lot. Purdy did what nobody, I can't remember the last time a quarterback came in midway through a season from the taxi squad and came and went that far. Now, granted, he had a great team with him, but still.
That happened.
It did.
That was a first.
I didn't believe it for the first 3 weeks. I was one of the doubters, too. I said, this is not happening. Okay, next week, let's see what happens. And he went ahead and did it. And on and on every week. I said, you know, I got to believe what my eyes are telling me. It's happening. So, you know.
Yeah. And we got a chance to do that again this year. We're worried about making somebody upset that got paid millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry for the kid, but, I mean, come on. He knew what he was getting into when he got into football.
Well, yeah.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
He'll get another chance. You know, he'll get traded to a different team or moved to a different team, and he'll get another shot.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what, you know, he just needs to be thankful for what most people don't never get a chance to play professional football.
Oh, that's the gospel truth.
You know, he got his chance.
Many of us would love to have gotten into that level and competed. Yes, hell yeah. Yeah. So it's hard to feel sorry for him. You just feel bad because, Jeremy, you ever watch a movie or a television show and you get all emotional about watching it because something hits home with you? Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. You're watching this kid struggle. He's gotten hurt a couple of times. His luck just really sucks.
Yeah.
And then coach calls him into his office and says, listen, I called you in before anybody else finds out about it, but Sam is going to be quarterback too. And then I said to myself, I'm standing there, I'm feeling Trey as I'm standing there listening to him say this. Oh man, my heart would have fell down to my feet. You know, so there is sympathy involved, but it is football, and that is where it goes.
It is football, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they first other team to play Lance and maybe make the playoffs when we can play Purdy and maybe win a Super Bowl. You know, you got to look at the other players too. You know, you got all these players. They don't got many more years left. A lot of them, especially with this team. Now, them contracts are coming up.
Yeah,
our salary cap's coming up.
Window can
close. We got to take the chances while we got them.
Yeah, absolutely.
For our team and for the other players.
Yeah.
And Purdy's our best shot. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Lance too, but Purdy done it.
Yes, he did.
No, and that's who we got to go with.
Yeah. That's true, Jeremy.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I you know, it's things didn't roll, and if we go back and rewrite the movie, I'm sure everybody would have wrote it differently. But things did not go in a way that sets comfortable a lot of people. So that's why we're getting the kind of rhetoric we're getting now. But fortunately, we're going to play, we're going to compete, And hopefully at the end of the season, everybody will be happy with the fact that we won a ring if you can just let go of your individual preferences and players. You see, you can't enjoy it if you do that.
I'm a 49er fan. I don't really care who plays. I'm for the 49ers.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got my favorites, but,
winning is everything.
I'm a 49er fan.
Yeah.
Winning is everything. And I'm always going to be a 49er fan, not a Players fan.
There you go. And when we get that sixth
I'm
trophy.
going to have my favorites, but.
Yeah, of course. And get that sixth trophy, we'll be happy.
I'm there to win. I'm there for our Super Bowl ring.
Damn right. It's way overdue. Should have been done already 2 times, Jeremy. That Kaepernick and Harbaugh Super Bowl, that was ours for the taking. That 2019 Super Bowl, that was ours for the taking. These are not just hypotheticals that we might have gotten ourselves involved in, maybe this year, that year, there. We were there, and we pulled up short. After going 4-0, we lose twice in a row. That's got to stop. We cannot go back there again and come from that well dry. Can't do it.
No.
And Jeremy,
I don't think we will this time.
I don't either, Jeremy. You know what?
I think if Purdy wasn't got his arm hurt, I think we would have won the Super Bowl. Hey, he was playing.
Jeremy,
that was just unheard of.
And do you know we'd be the greatest Super Bowl team of all time with 6-2 record? I think the Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots definitely lost more than 2. The Steelers lost more than 2. Cowboys lost more than 2. 6-2 would be the best record of all time. Damn it! Oh. Okay, we're gonna get it.
Oh yeah, I got confidence in Purdy. I think Purdy's gonna do it.
He does look like a miracle
You
child.
got to vote for that underdog. That last draft pick. You got to vote for the underdog. Tom Brady was what was it near last pick too?
6th round.
Look what he turned out to be.
Doesn't matter where you pick.
So
it's the heart of it.
Ain't always right.
No, it's the size of the heart in the player along with skills. You got to have both.
Yeah. You have both. And you got to be able to think on that field.
Yeah, you got to have good sense, too, especially as a quarterback. Jeremy, listen, don't be a stranger. We're going to go. I tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow if you got time for us. I know you. We're lucky to hear from you today, but if you get a chance, call back. I'll look for you.
What time?
After the game.
After the game? Okay, yeah. I'll be back.
All right, Jeremy. Appreciate you, fam. All right.
All right.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, 6-2. Fam, think about that for a minute. All of Rudy's little BS about, you guys haven't won a modern day trophy. Well, 6-2 makes us the elite of the elite. He can't say another damn word. I look for this. I know it's petty, but I'm sick of him. Hey, Tony! One of the Tony brothers.
Ronbo, it's a deep show tonight, man.
It really got into it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I knew the emotions going to run high.
Trey request a trade?
No, some writers already. I think Grant Cohn suggested that. I know I saw that on one of his headlines. He may have.
Yeah, because I saw on that one of those Seattle channels, and Ronbo, it's like they feed off of you guys instead of worrying about themselves. They're so happy right now. They think they've got it in the bag.
It's not going to help them any.
They think you guys are down
and unstable.
They got this, and it's happy days are here again in Seattle. I'm like, you poor bastards. Y'all set yourselves up.
This is why, Tony, the NFC West has got to have the most trifling fans. Wait. Okay, the Cowboys and Eagles are a handful too. But you know what? NFC West, Tony, even in NFC South, you guys have the Saints that are irritating. We've had going back and forth with them because for some reason the league will schedule us and the Saints. Must have been 4 or 5 years in a row, and we always had to go to the damn dome. So I say, Saints fans be talking a lot of trash, don't they? But it was Falcons fans. Never been any really ridiculous record between. The Tampa Bay Bucks have never been any worth a damn, so we never had any going back and forth with them. So the NFC West, it's always been like this.
Yeah, the Aints, the Rams, the Cowboys, and the Eagles are probably the worst fans. It's terrible.
Because the rest of the teams, New York, you would think New Yorkers would be, because baseball, the Mets and Yankees fans are really sick. So, you would think that would carry over into football, but it doesn't really. New Yorkers, Buffalo is too far. Buffalo, New Yorkers don't consider Buffalo part of New York. They call it upstate New York, so they don't consider it part of the state. So, Jets and Giants are kind of.
Philadelphia Eagles fans remind me of New York fans as far as you talking about baseball and all. That's how the Eagles fans act.
Yeah, man.
They're horrible.
They really. Why? But anyway,
Ronbo, we played the Steelers tonight. We lost 24-0. But our starters weren't even dressed. We played our second and third stringers. The Steelers played their starters for the first series. They were right down.
Yeah. See, that's so they can't brag about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to
we
worry.
Scored 17 points in the first quarter.
First quarter.
And then 7 points in the third quarter. That was all the scoring.
And their first string is going to be decent this year. I've been watching them. I stopped huffing and puffing about how we go in there in a cakewalk. It's going to be a tough game, especially since we got to travel out the east. Hopefully the 49ers go ahead and take off a little early, get used to that lag. You're going to need every advantage you got. The Steelers are real this year, and they're probably going to put up a fuss in that division. Cleveland, Cincinnati, the guy out of Pittsburgh does not look that bad to me. And they got Pickett looks not bad.
Baltimore's defense. Don't let them down. I don't see it with them. I got them in last.
Yeah, Ravens. Yeah, that's they're in that division. That's right.
Their defense is not going to be that good, and they were at the bottom in pass defense last year.
Yeah, and they were. That was their bread and butter for a minute.
Two trades happened. One I ain't gonna mention, but a trade happened earlier this afternoon. Isaiah Simmons was traded to the Giants for a 7th-round pick.
Rudy, you'll love it. I saw that, and as soon as I saw it, I wrote Rudy, man, y'all could have see that while you're sitting back, you could have gave up a 6th-round pick and got Isaiah Simmons because y'all ain't got a linebacker worth a pair of cleats. Rudy sent me back. What's that linebacker they got in L.A.? He sent me a photo of the linebacker sitting back there smoking a cigar from that year before last trophy. Jonah something? Smith? Yeah.
Talking about what they got now?
No, the one they had for the Super Bowl. I guess he's still with them.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, see, nobody
Ernest
does.
Jones is
Who?
linebacker.
Who?
Ernest Jones.
That's the one.
Right.
Ernest Jones is who he was talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I said,
Yeah, they had him wired.
Yeah, see, that's fine. The Rams, they got rid of Bobby. They've always had
Wagner.
Yeah, they've always had these. For the last few years, they've had a suspect linebacking group anyway. That's why the 49ers, the first thing they did is ran slants. As soon as somebody even run the ball, we just couldn't run them slants. The linebackers can't do a damn thing about it. So, we just ran the ball and ran them slants, and Debo had a field day like he always does anyway. So I said,
all I know is we've already seen some big plays against the Rams. What do you think it's going to be like during the season? Pick sixes. They got 2 quarterbacks, both from Georgia, Stafford and Stetson Bennett, both from Georgia. Stafford led the league in picks several times, and now Stetson Bennett picking up bad habits, throwing pick sixes in preseason.
Yeah, he can't be just a pick. He's got to take it all away, So, yeah, it's
exactly.
And also, from what I understand, as Mr. Ramilio was pointing out, is that the fact is, we got this guy. Rudy, who are these people? We picked him up. You pick up your draft pick's going to come out there, going to beat established, polished pros? Good luck with that. Oh, man.
Hey, Ronbo, something I didn't consider I was thinking about today, because when we lost Kyle Shanahan in 2017, which was the last time he made the playoffs, the year after Shanahan left for you guys, our offense struggled. But our defense was 8th in the league that year, and we made the playoffs. We played in the wild card game, beat the Rams, then lost to the Eagles, the game we should have won. Our offense struggled because we lost our offensive coordinator, and that happens with teams. I forgot that Kellen Moore left the Cowboys. Now I know they're going to lose.
Oh, yeah, and McCarthy's going to make the play calls. Tony, that defense that you could see you had a lot of young players in that Super Bowl year anyway, and it seemed like they got tired at the end in that Super Bowl. So that's why Kyle Shanahan and him and John Lynch got together. They emphasized defense hardcore for the first 2 years. It was understood we was going to draft in the first 2-3 rounds. This is going to be all defense, because and like you're saying. I mean, Lynch came out and said, "Well, Kyle, he does pretty well with that offense. We're not gonna be concerning ourselves with that just yet, but we are going to build that defense." And the 49ers did that. So that's probably what Kyle, from what you're saying, the experience in Atlanta, Kyle knows that he could have beat the Patriots. Hell, what's his name has more respect now for Shanahan, the Saints coach, Belichick. He actually had he had lined up conferences with Kyle to pick his brain. I said, that's respect there, boy. That is respect. Because Belichick was trying to figure out, I'm supposed to be one of the greatest of all time defensively, and here this kid is picking me apart, and you guys were picking him apart. Tony, man, the Falcons were tearing the Patriots up. I was sitting there just cheering my ass off. I said, stop, Brady. This is going to be the year. Going into the fourth quarter, just like us against the Chiefs. Leading the game. Oh, man. So, yeah.
He threw a pick six on that Super Bowl. Brady did.
Yeah.
Threw a pick. Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching the Falcon game. Boring. I'm just watching some of these young kids. I'm watching the replay. Who's probably going to make the team, who's not, this and that.
Yeah, you can make a choice now. You can do your final 53 right now if you want to, because that's the last game.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about Trey? I heard you were talking earlier. I've been watching your whole show, and maybe he should get a fresh start somewhere else.
Absolutely. Because things I don't know where his mind is right now. He may have some bitterness in because what he's went through, it was one of those things that nothing can be done about. He got hurt. Unfortunately, he got hurt. But this team can't wait for him to heal up and learn right now because they're already too far. It's an established veteran team that's in the Super Bowl in the same sentence with Super Bowl. So you got to go ahead and move on. Unfortunately, because what's his name over in Jacksonville, Carolina, these teams are not established. So the quarterback come in and grow with them together. So the 49ers couldn't afford to do that. So when Trey got trained for the first year, which a lot of people still don't understand, he was getting trained to come in and take over the second year. And what happens? He goes in, he gets hurt.
Got hurt.
And then now we blame Kyle Shanahan for the play call. I'm not going to place. I have no say on that one. I'm just going to leave that one alone. Maybe a different play does do different things. But the fact of the matter is it did happen. So now, regardless as to whose fault it is, that is what happened. So now you got to keep moving. So Brock Purdy comes in, and the 49ers get the miracle of the decade. He can actually run the offense. He doesn't cost any money. So now that is the perfect world for the 49ers front office. So that's why Trey is getting the treatment he's getting, not because they hate him or anything like that. It's just the unfortunate situation that took place. Because I really think if Trey would have stayed healthy, he would have been the starter and he probably would have developed. And God knows I want to see, I'd love to see what he looked like had he not got hurt. I really do.
Well,
but that didn't happen.
The latest I've heard, I've been hearing the talks heating up. The Miami is really trying to get Jonathan Taylor. I bet Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson are pissed.
Man.
I bet you because they were going to be 1-2 punch.
If they get Miami gets Jonathan Taylor, forget about the rest of those teams in that division, including the Jets. Miami wins that division. Ooh. Because Miami built up on their defense too.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is finally going to play Saturday.
I thought he was faking like he was going to play last time. But we'll see.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see those Becton and that other tackle, the tackle position, because that's a reason for concern there.
What team?
Jets.
Oh, the Jets. Yeah, I know. And you can't worry about groceries on one end. What's that kid's Becton?
Becton.
Yeah, you know that dude. Ooh, Ooh, that's a waste. Don't you, Tony, do you ever look at players like that and just say to yourself, with your mindset, if I could have had his body, I would have been a star. Guys like that, I don't know what they're thinking, but they could rule the world. I mean, but he's out there. It's just sad.
It's Dwayne Brown. So I don't know what Dwayne Brown's probably. To me, he's been pretty serviceable, but I don't know if he's got an injury or what. Yeah. But Ronbo, some other news happened 2 days ago. I forgot. I just remembered.
Real quick.
Corey Davis retired.
Oh, yes. I thought about you when I read that as well.
That blew my mind. I did not see that coming. He said he's done with football.
There's no telling what the reasoning is. Wasn't he with the Jets?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He saw the writing on the wall. Because they're talking about Lazard. Like Lazard is the second coming of Rice. I said, come on, man. You don't.
Yeah.
Okay, Lazard is okay, y'all, but come on now, man.
Lazard, then they bring in Cobb, and then they traded Mims, and then Davis, they demoted Davis. It's a circus, just like the Dallas Cowboys. It's a circus.
That's
and
why
Texas boy, if you still on, because I saw you earlier, the Cowboys are ass. Prescott will get benched. Y'all will lose 10 games this year. I forgot your offensive coordinator gone. That's even makes what I say even more effective.
Jack needs glasses.
Stand by.
He's got that same condition that what's his name had before he got the glasses. What's the Mr. Pick machine?
James Winston?
Yeah, James.
James Winston.
Even in that practice field, Dak, who the hell are you throwing to? The defender's standing right there. I read it in the Jacksonville game. Same game. He's standing right there. He's looking at you, and you threw the ball right to him. He can't see.
I remember you said you couldn't believe he threw that ball.
I could not. I saw that defender standing there from the camera angle. And Jack threw it right. Yeah. Dak threw it right to him. I said, what are you doing? Oh, day 6. Oh, so, there's something wrong. I don't know what it is. But Dak lost it. Vision, something's wrong.
Well, when things go bad this year, they're going to blame McCarthy because he's calling the plays.
Yeah.
He's going to have to bench Dak. And then Dak going to be gone and McCarthy going to be gone after this year.
Yeah.
Texas boy, I'm telling you this now so you won't be shocked when it happens.
I don't see him. Well, Tony, we're going to go. I tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow. And if you got time to join us.
You guys play tomorrow?
Yeah, we play tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, but Seahawks fans are so happy. I'm like, why are y'all worried about what the Niners are doing? And then they're all emotional and happy. I'm like,
that's
y'all,
good.
Y'all
good.
already lost.
Good. I hope they have parties and everything else. Get all happy and let's play.
Yeah. And when y'all play them, y'all hit them in the mouth.
Yeah. Because they lost their receiver he's not going to be there for the first couple of weeks. In Jigba.
Yeah, in Jigba.
Yeah, wrist. So I don't know why I'd be celebrating them. I mean, they got their own issues. Anyway.
And remember that defensive line, they like the Rams. They can't stop the Rams.
Still.
Still.
That's why. Tony, I'll see you tomorrow. All right.
I'll see you tomorrow, sir.
All right. Night, Tony. Why are the Hawks celebrating? Does that make any sense? It's not like we've came all the way undone. Anyway, let's not take the peons seriously. Fam, thanks for the contributions, fam. I think we're going to go ahead and head out and get ready for tomorrow's game. And hit the like. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. We want to see your face back in the place again. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Game time. In your face. At your place. Singing ooh la la, yeah, yeah.